Hello there. Welcome to the 100th episode of Split Focus, a film and TV podcast. My name is Simon Eady, and alongside me, I have my co-host and the General Grievous to my General Kenobi, Adrian Penter. How does it go, sir? How does it go?
General Kenobi, it goes quite well, Simon Eady. It's nice to hear from you today for our 100th episode of Split Focus, a film and TV podcast. And I am here to tell all you listeners that this will be our final episode for I don't know, who knows how long. We're going on a little hiatus, Simon. However, that doesn't mean that we won't be doing other things. We'll still be doing some closer look episodes on upcoming films, Jurassic World being one of them. And maybe we'll start this thing back up, in a few months, in a few years, and in a few decades. Who knows? Maybe we'll be at the same retirement home together. I don't know. Do you?
I don't know,
nice.
Honestly. And it's quite sad that we're kind of doing a hiatus here because we don't know how long this will go, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes, because I'm happy to talk to you on those closer look bonus episodes where we spoil certain things like Jurassic World or Thor, Love and Thunder in a sort of deep dive review. So
yeah, it's true, Simon. The real question is, though, Simon.
Yeah.
Will we talk outside this podcast if we go on hiatus? Do we break the rule?
I don't know. For right now, I'm going to say no.
Yeah.
But I guess the audience might find out if we ever launch episode 101. But I guess that's to be determined.
Okay.
In other words. But Adrian, we also have with us arguably Split Focus's #1 fan and the master writer-inner himself on the podcast directly, Kenneth Stadobauer. How are you, sir? How are you?
Well, Mr. McEady, I'm really well.
Oh my goodness.
McEady. Is that a McDonald's reference?
Mm-hmm.
That's to honor your Scottish heritage.
Oh, why you got to do that to me? Wait.
Boom roasted.
Yeah. Yeah, the man who shut off the podcast because of my Scottish accent during episode 98 is on the podcast himself.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Yeah, okay. Well, let's get right into it. Let's just get right into it. Break Ken in with a quick little news story, like a quick bite news story right off the hop here. This was a pretty big week for news stories, honestly, and there's a lot to talk about this week.
Yeah.
There's a lot that went on.
Like what, Simon?
Well, for one thing, there were a lot of Star Wars announcements, but we're going to get to that in the news. But there was also some announcements about Stranger Things because it's coming out. It came out actually already, technically.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. So Stranger Things Season 4 Part 1 came out to Netflix on Friday, I guess, the day of we are recording this.
Mm-hmm.
And the Duffer Brothers actually referred to Stranger Things Season 4 as the Game of Thrones season, which I thought was interesting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Does this mean a similar style, or they're killing everybody off?
Well, let me tell you.
Oh.
I actually know the reason why they're calling it the Game of Thrones season. You guys ready for this?
Yes.
You guys ready?
Oh, I'm ready.
So one of the Duffer Brothers, I forget which one, but one of them had a little interview done. I got this off Collider, this quote, but I don't think the interview was done by Collider, so apologies in advance. But I kind of took a little bit from his quote because within this quote, there are spoilers for previous seasons. So I want to just I want to maintain a rule, no spoilers all the way until episode 100, unless it's for, which movie did we spoil? Oh, no, show. We spoiled a show. Which show was it? Gotham. Other than Gotham.
We didn't really.
We don't spoil things. Yeah, that's true.
We didn't really, but yeah.
But one of the Duffer Brothers said about the season 4 that we kind of jokingly call it our Game of Thrones season because it's so spread out. So I think that's what's unique or most unique about this season. And then the quote, a little ellipses here because some spoilers were spoken. And then he goes back. So we have these 3 storylines that are all connected and kind of interwoven together, but it's just very different tones. So I think what the Duffer Brothers gentleman is saying is that similar to Game of Thrones, how there's so many things going on, there's multiple storylines consistently going that are kind of, that eventually connect or have impact on the other stories going on. That's kind of what they're doing with this next season of Stranger Things. And I can definitely see how they're going to do that. Considering where things left off in Stranger Things season 3. But this is pretty cool. Like my first thought when I saw this, I was like, oh no, does this mean that they're just going to kill off a bunch of kids, kind of like Ken mentioned, which I am all for, obviously. But yeah, I was kind of like curious. But yeah, I guess it's just in terms of having storylines go on ahead. But yeah, what do you guys think of this, Ken?
Personally, it's definitely different having the seasons split up. Kind of gives you a chance to revisit some of the episodes before it continues. And from the trailer, this looks like it's going to be my favorite season.
Why is that? Like any particular reason, man?
Well, I guess it can't be a spoiler because the trailer has pretty well shown it, but it looks like there's a central character that will be like an 80s slasher type.
Oh, nice.
And that's one of my favorite genres. Grew up in that generation, I guess. So,
Cool.
But I like what they've done with the taking the feeling of the time period for each season. So this is going to be set in my favorite time period as well. So it's going to be great.
Yeah, it's neat. Yeah, I'm excited for this season. I've got so many shows backlogged, though, honestly, that I don't know when I'm going to... this one I might probably just take a break from other shows to watch. I'm not even sure. Because this one I watched with my girlfriend, so I feel like there's probably room to stop for Stranger Things, whatever else we're watching. But I don't know about you, Adrian. Are you geared up to watch this like right away?
I don't know, man. Honestly, I got quite a bit of a backlog as well. Once we get to what we're watching, I'll let you guys know what I'm currently watching because of like a subscription service I have. But I do plan to probably jump into that once I'm caught up on the one thing that I'm currently watching. Because I don't know, like Stranger Things, it's one of those like things that I feel like anytime it comes around, people are talking about it, and it's just nice to be a part of that conversation. So
yeah,
why the hell not? You know what I mean?
True, and there's like more chances for spoilers on various social media platforms when a lot of people are buzzing about something too.
Yeah,
I feel like, but yeah, okay.
When I do watch it, I think it's going to be just back to back in a 24-hour period.
Yeah.
Cool.
Ken, are you a fan of binging series, or are you open to that week to week sort of?
It depends on the series and my mood. Some of them are deliberately paced that setting them up in a weekly format works. Other ones, it's just I eat them like candy.
Interesting. Actually, that's a great question that I feel like I've never asked Ken in person. That's what about Book of Boba Fett? Did you? I'm guessing you all. It's Star Wars. You probably watched it as it went, but would you have preferred it to watch it all at once in a binge-like fashion?
No, that one I think the pacing lent enough that I could watch it weekly. The other thing I was doing, which is probably insane, is watching each episode twice. So,
Oh, yeah, true that. Adrian specifically called out Moon Knight as probably the show. I feel like, Adrian, I might be wrong on this, but I feel like you didn't like the most that it was week to week. What about Moon Knight? Because I know, Ken, you really love Moon Knight and that character in the comics. Would you have preferred that Moon Knight had been all in one chunk, just launched all, 6 episodes?
Okay, that one's not fair. I understand why they did it in the format they did it. However, yeah, I would have binged the hell out of that.
Okay. But do you think on a stylistic standpoint, maybe it would have benefited it as well? I know you would have loved to binge it because you love Moon Knight, but do you think it would have been more successful on a stylistic standpoint too? I'm curious.
Actually, what you've said on a previous episode would have worked better in this case because the series, this is more depth than we should get into for it, but the series borrowed from different incarnations of the Moon Knight in comics. What they should have done is released it in 2 or 3 episode bits to match the period of Moon Knight that they were using. Because the stories, while it's one continuous story, there are bits of it that do fit better together than others.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair. And this is something that you would only know. Like, we don't have that experience. That's actually, I feel like I failed to, I described you in a joking manner to start, but the great thing about having you on the show is that you're an expert in, I mean, you saw Star Wars, I think. Am I wrong? You saw Star Wars in theaters when it came out, right? Like the original Star Wars.
I saw Star Wars opening weekend in the drive-in
Okay.
with my family. I've seen probably each of them opening night or opening weekend, including the remastered ones. I took my son to see those ones so he would see them opening night.
Yeah. So in terms of like the fandom aspects of especially some of the Marvel properties in Star Wars, I feel like it's an honor to have you here for that, because we can just like keep jumping off of you when we eventually talk about Star Wars, etc. But it's good to have your perspective. In other words,
I'm not more knowledgeable. I'm just old.
Wiser.
Wow, Moon Knight, you're certainly wiser, as Adrian points out. I feel like that's for sure true.
I don't have many of them, just from the first appearance on. Oh, wait.
Right.
No, I don't have every comic, but I do have bits and pieces of him since he first appeared in Werewolf by Night.
Cool. All right. Okay. Actually, this is a good spot to go to what we've been watching, I think. Adrian, what do you think? I think you have like 15 things listed here, so maybe you should go first.
Yeah, you know what? I'll kind of rapid fire through a couple of these things. So I can't remember. Was it last week where I said I didn't watch anything? Or was it the week prior?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So I overcorrected a bit this week. I watched quite a bit of stuff.
Oh.
I finished Ozark Season 4, which is its final season. The second part released on Netflix a couple weeks back. I decided to, jump into it and binge it over the course of like a day or two. And I just got to say, this show is so freaking good. I think this is just one of those shows that Netflix really knocked it out of the park with. They got an amazing cast with, Jason Bateman and Laura Linney in particular, an amazing, writing team, an awesome story going forward, a constant build up of tension in every single scene. Jason Bateman in particular, like how he's playing Marty throughout the show, this calm and, collected individual that's kind of, laundering money for the drug cartel, going into these wild situations every time and somehow managing to figure a way out more often than not is just brilliant storytelling. And again, seeing Laura Linney's character, honestly, from season 1 all the way to the end of season 4, and the way that character develops as everything progresses, it's honestly just a very awesome show. I would argue it's probably Netflix's best show.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah, I don't know if it's my favorite because for me, honestly, BoJack Horseman is just, it holds such a special place in my heart. It's that to me is just peak comedy. It's brilliant. It's funny. It's well animated, all that sort of stuff. But I think Ozark, for the larger masses, I think it's probably the most appealing show. And yeah, I would make the argument that it is the best show that Netflix has had. And I'm very happy to say that it, ended brilliantly. It wasn't, a disappointing finish. They stuck the landing. And as a result, I can highly recommend this series to anyone that likes these sort of crime dramas. And yeah, I really loved it. Did you get a chance to watch it yet, Simon?
This is the problem. I've been talking about it. It's this backlog that's incessant. I'm so behind, and I'm trying to finish Mr. Robot. But to finish Mr. Robot, I couldn't remember what happened in season 3. So I went back to start season 3 over again, which is definitely, I feel like, a good choice, just because that is so well made. Like, man, it's so well written and directed. There's this, I don't know if you ended up watching season 3, Adrian, but
I didn't know.
There's this one, oh, you didn't. There's this one scene, and I think it's the 5th episode or the 4th episode, in which it's like all in one shot, and it's like 10 minutes. It's remarkable. It's absolutely awesome. I don't know. This show is so good. I'm so happy I'm watching it again, or at least season 3 again, gearing up for season 4 of Mr. Robot. That's the Rami Malek starring, almost hacking thriller series, like created by Sam Esmail, who I'm on board for anything he makes, pretty much, especially if he's writing and directing it like he did with Mr. Robot. But honestly, I don't have time. I don't have time. And so I'm more excited, I feel like, for movies coming out because of the fact that I'm so behind in the shows that I haven't watched. There's Barry on HBO. Haven't even started.
Yeah, me neither.
Didn't even think to start it. Better Call Saul, Adrian.
Ooh.
I feel like you're going to talk about that in a moment. Just
I am.
I'm not psychic. It's in the document right in front of me. But I don't know. That's kind of my problem. But I'm very excited to finish Ozark. But also, I'm kind of sad because I know that the show is amazing, and I know this was Jason Bateman's baby, and like he directed a lot of the episodes. I think he directed the last 2. No, this is the end. Yeah, I think he directed the last 2 of season 4. I could be wrong, but you can correct me if you know the answer.
I don't remember.
But he also directed it. He didn't only star in it, which is really cool. And like he put, I feel like everyone involved put their heart and soul into making it. So it's clearly got a lot of attention to detail.
Yeah, definitely.
And a lot of blue palette. That's for sure. Ooh. But I'm going to be sad to see it go, is my point, because it's great.
Yeah, it's very well done. Ken, did you ever watch Ozark? I don't know.
I have not, but I am kind of strange with shows. I don't know if you recall me telling you about my Breaking Bad story. I waited until the entire show, or the entire series was done, started watching it, and then just bought all the seasons and binge watched the entire thing.
Oh.
Okay. Cool.
I'll probably do much the same with Ozark, where I'll sit down and watch it from beginning to end.
On that line, I mean, Better Call Saul might be the one to do that for next, just because that's ending too, and that's absolutely amazing. That's arguably my favorite show airing right now. And Adrian, I feel like you have more to say on that, so I'll throw it to you.
I do, Simon. So the final season of Better Call Saul is currently airing, and the first part of that final season has now finished. It's coming back in late July, so I cannot wait for it. These 7 episodes that they've aired on AMC, I picked up an AMC Plus subscription through Amazon Prime Video, actually, because you can just add that channel on. I had like a month trial there because I actually used the month trial back in the day on Apple TV.
How much?
So
in Canada?
I think it's like $10. I don't know. It might be a little bit less. It's expensive. But you know, I was watching Better Call Saul week to week. And again, the show is just absolutely brilliant. The way this final season in particular is building up to Breaking Bad, because, you know, Better Call Saul is a prequel to Breaking Bad. It's setting up so many things that it's like, oh shit, like this is where this comes to fruition in Breaking Bad, and kind of what they're setting up with all these, you know, recurring characters and stuff. And you're finally finding out the fates of so many individuals that are in Better Call Saul that don't show up in Breaking Bad, which is kind of very exciting. And it somehow, in this entire show, it knows how to balance this tension of even characters you know that survive, that you know are in Breaking Bad. Every time there's a scene with them and they're in a dangerous position, for whatever reason, at least for me, my brain forgets that, oh, yeah, they make it out of this alive. And I, for whatever reason, I just think the writing in the show is just so brilliant that I can get fooled every single time. And when these characters get into these like incredible, you know, dangerous situations, I'm just like, oh man, they could die, even though there's literally no way they could. And I agree with you, Simon. I think this is probably my favorite show that is airing as well. It's so well done. It's brilliantly acted from all parties involved, like Ray Seahorn and Bob Odenkirk. Their chemistry on screen together throughout the series is just really great. I love how their relationship developed over these past like 6 seasons, and I'm just very excited to see where these final 6 episodes go. I will say though, and I don't think I've ever really had this experience with Better Call Saul or Breaking Bad, there's one scene in particular where one character does makes a very foolish decision, which I felt was out of place for the show and for the character. And I'm curious if you'll pick up on it as well, Simon, when you inevitably watch it.
Okay.
Where I just thought like, oh, why the hell is this guy doing that? Like, that's a dumbass decision. I don't understand why they would ever do such a thing. But other than that one moment in, you know, this like 7 hours that I've watched, I have nothing but good things to say. And goddamn, the way this mid-season finale also ends is just nuts. And again, it just makes you just want more and more of this fucking show, man. And yeah, that's really what I want to mention about Better Call Saul, which actually kind of ties into the next thing I'm watching, because I brought up how Better Call Saul knows how to balance, you know, even with these characters that you know that survive.
I hate to break your segue.
Oh, sorry.
One thing I will just say, to just get Ken to watch it because he likes Breaking Bad. The balance of the comedy and the drama in that show is just brilliant. It's one of the best things about it that's surprising because it's so dark, right, Adrian? Like, I mean,
yeah,
it's incredibly dark, but the funny parts are so surprising. But obviously, Bob Odenkirk is like a comedian at heart. for like, his history of being an improv comedian, etc. But I just think that, I don't know, based on Ken's love of comedy, I think Ken, you'll love it. But I don't know. We'll see, I guess.
I actually have watched the first 2 seasons. It's just
you did.
I've fallen off.
Oh,
so again, it's going to be one of those things where I binge. To be brutally honest, because of the spacing between the seasons, I kind of fell off of it. So once everything's together, I'll probably watch them all at once.
Cool. Sounds good. Sorry to interrupt your segue there, Adrian. You were going to say that you watched something else because you've been watching Better Call Saul, and that is?
The Walking Dead, Season 11, Part 2.
AMC Plus, baby.
Yeah. So, honestly, like I have like another, like, I don't know, 10 days left of my AMC Plus subscription. So I may as well watch the, second part of season 11 of The Walking Dead since it's on that subscription service. And, I don't want to just keep paying for it. So I canceled my subscription, but I decided to jump into The Walking Dead season 11. Like this second part, because I watched the first back in like January, February, whenever it was airing. And this show, again, I kind of want to relate it to Better Call Saul. It's funny because the Walking Dead, creators and AMC spoiled some characters, in terms of like their survivability, these like with 4 characters in particular that are going to have a spin-off show. Now, one of which, isn't a part of it, the Carol Daryl spin-off and then the Negan Maggie spin-off. So whereas Better Call Saul can, build that tension and hold and make the viewer kind of worry about characters that you even know survive, The Walking Dead does not do that. Because these 4 characters that I know for a fact are going to live, get put in these dangerous situations, and my brain can't help but like think, they're going to be fine. Like, I got nothing to worry about with these guys. And I feel like it's kind of ruining the season for me, which I hate to say because I really liked the first part of season 11. And
season 1,
yeah, man.
Me too.
I'm going all the way back, baby. But it sucks, and I think there's also just like I'm watching The Walking Dead season 11 part 2 while I just finished Ozark season 4, which is brilliant, and Better Call Saul, the first part of its final season, which is just phenomenal. And then I'm jumping into this show, which just isn't nearly as good, isn't nearly as well written. And it's making me kind of pay more attention to these flaws because I think one of the things Walking Dead always did well is nobody's safe. You're always worried about every single person. But realistically, 4 of the characters I actually care about, I know are going to live. So whenever they're in a dangerous situation, it's like, who cares? And honestly, every other character that's around, the vast majority of them, I'm fine if they all die. Like I'm just like, whatever. So I'm kind of disappointed about that. I wish it wasn't like I wish I wasn't being so down on it because again, I feel like Walking Dead finally found its stride again. I was enjoying it, but I think just watching it so close to these 2 other amazing shows and them revealing that 4 characters are for sure going to live, it's really taken away from it. I'm sorry to say.
Oh, that's disappointing.
Well, I have to admit, I dropped off at season 9. I find it hard to keep following. I may pick it up again, but I am looking forward to Walking Dead with accents. I think that's going to be different.
Oi! I love the Queen! You think we're going to see a Queen zombie? Queen Elizabeth, the zombie?
Okay, you meant a monarch. I was just thinking a cross-dressing zombie. It kind of lost me for a second.
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
This is the Daryl and Carol show, I'm assuming you're talking about, because it's taking place in Europe?
Yeah, Walking Dead with accents.
Right, yes.
I'm so convinced that Carol will join them after the first season's over or second season's over.
Maybe.
They'll just keep that going indefinitely, too.
I don't know that show is supposed to continue forever. I don't know that that's their plan. That's the question, because I think the Negan, I don't know, I just got the impression, but the Negan and, what's her name? Maggie series that's taking place in New York, which is a great place to be set. It's weird that they haven't there's been no seasons in New York yet for this show. But I feel like that show was just one season. Isn't it going to be a limited series? I feel like, I don't know, how long can they keep this running? I don't know.
Well, I thought Fear the Walking Dead wasn't going to keep on going, and it stuck with us like that rash from high school. So
yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
I still stand by that. I think season 3 of Fear the Walking Dead is the best season of any Walking Dead that I've watched. I still stand by that statement, genuinely.
Wow,
I think I made it to the end of 2 and went no more. But
Yeah.
that's fair.
I loved season 3 of Fear the Walking Dead, but then they decided to just ruin it with season 4. They switched their showrunners and just took the show in a complete different direction, and everything that they set up in the previous season, they just shat on, which is unfortunate, but alas.
I'm almost surprised that you stopped watching it, Ken, because of your makeup work. I just felt like
that was pretty much all I was watching it for.
okay, that makes sense. Because you love the makeup in a lot of any of these properties, but The Walking Dead is like a friggin' feast, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure if you've noticed the pattern or if I've commented on it before, but as the seasons go on, the zombies actually show signs of atrophy more. The eyes start crystallizing and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
They start growing organic
Boners.
boners as well,
Mm-hmm.
but organic things in their bodies and that, like plants and that, start taking over. It's just the makeup is clever as hell. I wish the writing followed suit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, the nice part about the makeup for Walking Dead with accents is at least they don't have to do they don't have to worry too much about the makeup for like the teeth and stuff for the walkers in Britain.
Well, exactly. And when they get to France and that, it's just okay, throw a beret on the zombie and you're good.
Sure.
Yeah.
People trying to bash them with a croissant.
Cheese on my croissant. They if they ever get to France, they got to have a walker walking around with a baguette, right?
Stuck to his hand?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Actually, doing the Hollywood thing where he's dragging a bag with the baguette sticking out of it, because everybody who shops in France seems to carry groceries like that.
Mm.
How many years has this been, though? Like, what would bread be like after like 5 years? Or
Moldy.
like, it's been a long time.
Very moldy.
I don't think so.
It'd be zombie bread.
Yeah. It's alive. It's got little arms. Yeah, the unbread.
It's Pickle Rick.
Sure.
Yeah. Ah.
Brettle Rick, I guess.
Yeah.
Was that, sorry, were you just going to do a Pickle Rick impression, but your impression was, aha!
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. I'm glad you picked up on it.
Well, it's incredible because I don't remember him saying aha in the Pickle Rick episode of Rick and Morty. But anyway.
Aha! I am Pickle Rick, is that what he said?
Yeah, sure. Okay. Yeah. Great.
I'm the Joker, baby.
Yes. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, Kenneth, what did you watch this week, my friend? What did you watch?
Well, I'm a little less interesting in that. Watching a couple of the trailers, specifically the trailer for Star Wars Jedi Survivor, which is ironic because I'm the one who usually says don't talk about games on here, but it does look intriguing. And then other than that, I've been watching a lot of stuff from the 30s to 70s. Like I just watched
Hold on,
Day of
Ken.
the Races again.
Hold on, Ken. Sorry. Apologies to Kenneth Stadelware for talking about video games. Continue.
Oh, thank you. Sorry, Kenneth Stadelware. But I'm at a thing where I'm not wanting to see anything new, and I'm just dragging up stuff from when I was younger or decades before I was born and rewatching it.
Oh, cool. Okay. Sounds good.
I have a lot of movies.
So what, we're talking like the early 1800s or?
Oh.
I think the earliest one I have is something like 1910.
Ugh.
Oh, okay. Sounds good. He was just saying 50 years younger than you, so I was just trying to guess.
Okay.
Whoa.
Whoa, you're not thinking, I feel like you're not taking these jokes that well. What's going on here? Sorry, Ken. I wasn't looking to insult you. I thought you would. Oh, all right. I thought you would, zing me back or something.
That's okay. I think if you sawed me in half and counted the rings, you'd find I'm even older than that.
Mm.
Oh, okay. There we go. Whew.
You just watching Citizen Kane on repeat there, Ken? I know how much you love it.
Oh, for shizzles.
Yeah.
For me, it's Singing in the Rain, Adventures of Robin Hood. Those ones I never tire of.
Yeah.
Mm.
And then any of the Groucho Marx movies, obviously.
Never heard of him.
Is Carl's brother. Didn't you know that?
Yeah, what? That was not your joke. I've never heard of him as not the joke from before. Adrian, what happened to bringing it back? Buddy, come on.
Bring it back.
Baby.
He left it for me to bring it back.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, that worked out, actually. Yeah, I guess you alley-ooped it to Ken. But
I make the highlight reel.
yes, indeed. Sports references. Very good. Very good. But yeah. Wait, sorry, the trailer you brought up was Star Wars Jedi Survivor. What about... There's so many good trailers this week. What about the Thor?
There's a lot of trailers, but you said what am I watching recently in that? It's like all the other ones I've watched as they come out.
I just thought the Thor one was this week. Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Thor Love and Thunder?
I know.
Oh, Thor.
That I broke my own policy. I actually watched it. I don't know if you recall me constantly saying, okay, I watched the first trailer or teaser and nothing after because I don't want to get spoiled.
Right.
And I just got every social media I have has been bombarding me with the new Thor trailer's up, the new Thor trailer's up. So
Right.
I finally clicked and watched it.
Yeah. What did you guys think about it? I'm curious.
Yeah.
Ken?
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, Adrian. Sorry, Adrian. Please go ahead.
You know what? I've been here way longer than Ken. You give it to me first, Simon, okay?
Well, my mistake.
We're ending this properly.
Look, man, you didn't write Thor: Love and Thunder in your damn thing here. There's a section for it in the document, and you didn't write it in, so I'm just assuming that you don't care about it.
Hey, Adrian, there's no reason to get Thor about this, okay?
No, I totally forgot about the Thor 4, the fourth Thor starring Gore trailer that came out this week.
Yeah.
And
Me too.
And I think this trailer was pretty good. Now that you bring it up, it didn't reveal too much. We saw Christian Bale as Gore in the fourth Thor 4. There's this. They already made it a memeable format, like the face that he's making with like the black goop coming out of his mouth and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. I'm glad. I think this is one of those trailers that Simon, you might come at me for this, but I feel like it doesn't show too much about the movie. I don't really know what the plot's going to be about, or really, the reason this villain is here, why Christian Bale playing Gore in the Thor 4, the fourth Thor movie, like what he's all up to. It just really just shows me the tone of the film, which, to be fair, I kind of already knew what it was going to be. But I don't know. I'm quite excited for this. Again, I don't think Taika Waititi like really misses. At least from what I've seen of his, I'm really enjoying it. Like everything that I've watched of his. I recently rewatched What We Do in the Shadows, like the movie with like my girlfriend, and she quite liked it. Again, like this guy just knows how to make quality films that are hilarious, but still quite dark and intense. So
Possible spoiler, but Gore the God Killer.
Mm-hmm.
I think we can figure out his motivation.
He wants to kill God, you think?
Possibly,
Right.
or he's dyslexic and he hates dogs. One of the two.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that seems more real.
Gore the God Butcher. Yeah, I think just to be clear, we're gonna joke about making spoilers in this podcast, just for the audience members that don't normally listen, but we're not spoiling anything. I just want to I want to just set the record straight. Just gonna.
This is literally his title is Gore the God Killer or God Slayer, depending what comics or whatever.
God Butcher.
God Butcher.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool. He looked awesome in that, man. He looks so cool. I think. And Christian Bale is amazing.
He actually looks creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
It's nice to see a villain that actually you look at him and go, I don't want to meet him.
Yeah, for sure. And then Russell Crowe.
Do you want to meet most villains?
Most of the other ones do not give you the creeps. I've dated worse.
Whoa! Oh! But yeah, Russell Crowe that you mentioned, Simon. He's playing Zeus, the Thunder guy, the Thunder God.
Yes, Zeus.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh wait, yeah, he's the god of gods, isn't he? Technically,
He's the equivalent of the Allfather in the Greek mythology.
right? He's not really. He does use lightning, but I was just thinking about the connection between him going up against Thor, because they both kind of use lightning.
Mm-hmm.
In the trailer, you see Valkyrie using his lightning blade.
Oh,
okay.
I missed that.
Yeah, I missed that too.
This is why I don't like watching the trailers, because I pick up way too much out of them.
Yeah, so I want to go back to what you said there, Adrian. So I've had issues with trailers revealing too much, especially on the Marvel side as of late.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to course correct what I said about the first Thor Love and Thunder trailer. I said it revealed too much, but I take it back. I'm just going to say that. I feel like
Thank you.
We couldn't have known what's in that. And you did take issue with the fact that I said that about that first trailer. You're like, what do you mean it revealed too much? You're a joke, I think you said.
I said that.
You're a joke, Simon.
Yeah, I said that verbatim. And I also said, I take umbrage with this, Simon. You're a bitch, is what I said.
Yeah, I take Dolores umbrage with this.
I think you said biatch, but...
Mm-hmm.
But yes, I do take it back. I think the second trailer, I don't arguably say that revealed too much either. I think that you're right. I think that we don't know what's going to be in the movie until we see what's in the movie. I did kind of say that part, but I'm going to just say that I made a brief mistake, because it's hard to know until we actually watch the movie. Just like seeing Spider-Man No Way Home, I do feel like that trailer revealed too much. I still believe that. I don't know if you believe that too, Ken, but that last trailer.
That's actually something I agreed with 100% on the podcast when you brought it up. You don't know until you watch the movie what they spoiled in the trailer. And I've gone to movies before where when it finally, the scene hits, it's like, I wish I wouldn't have seen that in the trailer.
My argument, though, always is that what you spoil in the trailer is clearly a business decision because you want to create hype, but you have to balance this fine line. I just feel like No Way Home revealed too much in consideration of what they could have left out and still got the same result at the box office. That's more my concern. I feel like Thor: Love and Thunder, there's so much to reveal. We have no idea, honestly, in the end, what's going to be there. I feel like that's fair.
I'd rather be surprised by certain things, too. Like, even with the Batman, the look of the Penguin, I would rather have seen that first on the screen rather than in the teaser.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I can see that they didn't reveal too much in the Batman trailer. I think they did a good enough job. But yeah, I guess, I don't know, there's a question to be had about whether we should just whether we're fans of trailers, I guess. But we have to see them. We don't have a choice. We're going to the movie theaters. We're going to see them in theaters.
We're going to see them, and then how much have we picked out of it, which most people won't actually notice.
I'm sensing a trend, though, from Marvel. So when Marvel Cinematic Universe movies are about to come out, they launch an extra trailer at the very end that doesn't end up going in the preview section of a movie in the movie theaters. And I'm going to point out one that's very obvious that gave away too much. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness third trailer is a complete waste, in my opinion. I don't even know why they were thinking releasing that. I don't know if you ended up watching that, Adrian, but we talked about that. I think when we reviewed Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and I said that they revealed something really silly. It's in the trailer, so I guess we can say. No, I'm not going to even say it here. It's too much. But there's a thing that's like revealed in that I thought was like, why did you do this? You don't need that. It's like hinting at something that's way down the line in the movie. It's like, why? I don't know if you guys are picking up what I'm putting down in terms of what I'm saying, but
I am.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't see the trailer, so
okay. Yeah, I watched it after because I was like, because people told me that, this was already in the trailer. I'm like, it was? When? Did they make a third trailer? I didn't even realize they did that. And I'm hoping the Love and Chunder.
Thor 4, the fourth Thor with Gore trailer.
Yeah, Thor Love and Chunder. When that comes out, I don't know what that is. But anyways, Thor Love and Thunder third trailer, when that trailer launches, I'm hoping they don't put that in front of, like, I don't know, Jurassic World Dominion or something, because that's like that would be really sad for me.
Yeah, I don't think they will.
I don't think so either. I think the third trailers lately, that's my point, are like reserved for the fans who just can't wait. They just can't, keep it in their pants. So they need to see that trailer. But anyway.
Yeah, I also don't want to watch the Thor 4, the fourth Thor with Gore trailer 4.
What he said.
There won't be a trailer 4, but that's, yes, thank you. I feel like you waited all episode to say that.
I did.
Or at least the last 10 minutes. Anyways, okay. So yeah, that's really cool. I'm looking forward to that. That trailer was awesome. But Ken, I've interrupted you. I apologize with something that's not on your list. What else did you watch this week?
Well, the only other thing I watched this week was Obi-Wan.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Which I loved.
Yes. We all three of us watched Obi-Wan. We all watched the 2 episodes because they launched 2, of course, on the actually the day before it was supposed to launch. Adrian, did you watch both as well?
I did indeed, Simon Eady. I did indeed.
Sweet. I just squeezed it in before we started recording this podcast, and I'm eager to talk about it. We will not spoil it here, but we will talk about it briefly because I'm very excited about the outlook of this show. Ken, What did you think?
I watched it in a different state. I watched it at 3 a.m.
Oh.
I was hyper aware of all the sounds and the items in the series that were direct copies of the originals or things you see in Galaxy's Edge in the parks.
Okay.
So it's as silly as this sounds, there was a sense of reality to the show because they're using all these things that I know.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to give away specific sounds or anything, but when you hear them, it's, yes, of course, that's the right sound for that.
Yeah, like this, like wow, like something like that.
Oh, exactly. And the smelly guns that go pew pew.
Ow.
Yeah, these are terrible.
That's supposed to sound like a Wookiee, but I don't even know if there was a Wookiee.
These are truly terrible impressions.
That's a Wookiee passing a kidney stone.
Jesus.
But no, the series was well done so far. I think it was a little rushed, but
Oh,
I'm enjoying what's happening.
interesting. You think that
Yeah.
so the first 2 episodes were rushed?
Yep, it seems like they're trying to steamroll it. They're not dwelling on any particular part of it. They're not building up enough background, really.
Okay. Interesting.
I'm saying things and being particularly vague because it's like, well, you know that part where they, but
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we can't spoil it for sure.
They start banging all each other. Everyone just banging each other on screen. Obi-Wan and Darth Vader, they're making out. It's wild.
it's seeing whose lightsaber's the longest and such.
Yeah. Was I watching the right Obi-Wan show? I don't know.
No,
Well, it's the link you sent me, so I watched it.
oh, geez. So, am I the only one who actually watched Obi-Wan Kenobi?
No, Simon. I'm being facetious as per usual. You know me. You
Yeah,
know
I do.
me.
I do. Oh, I do. just don't segue to food, please. Don't segue to your food, please.
Oh my God. Yeah, actually,
No.
you reminded me of that. I'm making like lepane,
Nope.
which is like Serbian flatbread,
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Balkan style flatbread. I made the dough. It's just chilling in my fridge because I'm gonna make a barbecue tomorrow. I prepped some plaskovica, which is like the Serbian burgers. I'm gonna have a nice barbecue tomorrow. However, prior to the barbecue, Simon and Ken, in this case, I will be going to the St. Jacobs Farmers Market, and I haven't gone since I was a wee lad, like so long ago.
Yeah.
Prior to the fire that burnt it all down. And I'm going to walk through there. I'm going to maybe get a Danish.
Kenobi, Adrian.
I might get a Danish, and then
Yes.
maybe they sell meats and stuff, and I'll buy some more meats and stuff to cook on the Barbie.
Sorry, are you done?
Yeah.
Okay, good. You were gonna talk about Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Oh yeah.
I was just going to say, were we going to actually discuss what you thought of it?
Yeah. I really, really liked these first 2 episodes, and
Oh,
what I want to say is at the start of
it's rushed.
but no, actually, I actually don't necessarily agree with that. I think it's quite well paced in these first 2 episodes at the very least. I think they're spending enough time with the characters that are being introduced that you want to spend time with. I think what they are doing in particular, like where the story is actually going, is quite shocking, and some characters that are introduced. It's pretty surprising too. I didn't expect it to, again, like these specific characters to show up, which is kind of neat. The one thing I do also want to say is when you start this show, it does like previously on or whatever, and it's like this like kind of supercut of the prequel movies, and goddamn, that hit me right in the nostalgia feels.
Yes,
Same.
so good.
Yeah.
It's as if this is actually just prequel 3A or something. It's a direct continuation.
Hmm. Yeah, and it's like super nostalgic. Like I grew up on the prequel trilogy. Like those were the first Star Wars movies I watched, and then I went back and I watched the original trilogy, and then obviously this new trilogy by Disney. And yeah, for me it was just super nostalgic to see all those scenes and spliced together, and you're just seeing all these like main points and how the show starts off as well. Like it feels like a direct sequel to the prequel movies, as opposed to, like A New Hope, which takes place like 20, 30 years later or whatever it is. And
Now, that being said, do you agree with me? All the small things, the nerdies in it, are direct continuations of the first trilogy, the sounds, what you're looking at and everything.
yeah, man, definitely. And it's, again, yeah, it hits you right in the nostalgia feels.
It's like no time has passed.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome, dude. And I absolutely love that. Like, what do you think about that, Simon?
You mean the sounds aspect or the prequel?
The prequel reel, I guess.
Oh, so good. The previously on segment was like brilliant. I just thought it was so well done. It was like, it's in my notes specifically. I just love it so much, and it was done so well. I just feel like you can look at recaps on YouTube or whatever, and no one's captured it like they did. And they just pretty much used clips.
Oh, you okay, Ken?
Yeah, it's okay. I forgot my chair swivels.
Okay.
I am still standing, or sort of sitting.
Thank goodness.
Are you good now? Is everything positioned properly?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you for paying attention.
It was impossible not to. It was very loud. But yeah.
What are you talking about positioning? Are you talking about my lightsaber?
No.
Uh-huh.
Oh, he is, not me.
Okay.
But yeah, it's very. I can't remember what I was saying. Shit.
It's just, yeah, you know, like no one's done it better, like on YouTube.
There's so many different versions of this on YouTube, and I feel like no one's done this as accurately. I mean, it makes sense. This is coming from the horse's mouth, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But at the same time, like, it's brilliant, and it was paced so perfectly in terms of that reel. I thought that was so good, and it really geared me up. And it's funny because I not too long ago watched all the movies in one go. Not like that was really, well, I guess it was a while ago now, but it was before the new movies started coming out with Force Awakens, etc. And I think I watched them twice, like in a short span of like 2 years or something like that, just to gear up for, I think, even to The Last Jedi. And so I was like, oh man, there's just so many good moments. And it made the prequels, which have a lot of weird moments, I feel like, especially in the acting department, look really good. And they chose very choice lines from Hayden Christensen as an example, playing Anakin Skywalker. They used very good lines from him too, and I think he was the most rough in Attack of the Clones, and he improved a lot in Revenge of the Sith. I think at least you and I agree on that, Adrian. But yeah, it was great.
I think when this is all done, we're going to find that it makes up for some of the awkward dialogue that Lucas had in the prequels. Yeah,
potentially. We'll see.
Because he did have Anakin sound a little silly.
Yes, I agree. It's like, I think we said this on a previous episode, you and I, Adrian, but like, Ewan McGregor could arguably act the phone book. He could just read through the list of the phone book and make it compelling. But Hayden Christensen was a pretty young actor at the time. He just wasn't in anything.
But he was getting accolades. People did appreciate what he was doing up until he got cast in the prequel trilogy.
Yeah, and the reason why that is because a good director can make you look really good, and it's a nerve-wracking process, I imagine, to be in a Star Wars movie. So,
and having somebody on Tatooine complaining about the sand is like, okay, what are you doing?
Yeah, it's not the greatest dialogue.
From my point of view, the Jedi are evil. like you know that.
Yeah, it's the dialogue, and then the way it was directed for him to do the dialogue. I feel like you could take a few more takes to make him sound more natural, but there was choices made there on the direction standpoint that weren't great.
Definitely.
And again, we won't get into the reaction from people. Jake Lloyd was bullied to the point where he quit acting and actually had to go into therapy.
Jake Lloyd's the kid who was in Phantom Menace?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Who played Anakin?
He was the wee Anakin.
Yeah. Yes. Don't use the word "we" around me.
Hayden Christensen dealt with it a lot better, but as a kid, it's harder.
Yeah.
You know what happens when you use the word "we" to describe something small around me? I might start going into a Scottish accent, so just be careful.
I was just going to say, I thought that's the way your folk talked about things.
Yeah, it's the wee lad. It's the wee lad.
It's a wee lad.
Anyway.
Oi!
You know what you guys should do? You guys should speak the rest of the episode in a Scottish accent, and I'll stand by and just use my regular voice. How's that sound?
I'm not going to do it.
After broof braf doof daft.
What? That was in English.
I just said, how's your day going in Scottish?
Yeah, I think you should stop.
Yeah, thanks.
That was much worse than me.
Yeah.
I think we'd sound pretty daft.
The one thing I do want to also mention about this Obi-Wan show is that it brings back quite a few actors and actors from the prequel trilogy. And the one thing I must say is Disney really, really got lucky with the casting of that prequel trilogy with, Joel Edgerton, being cast as like Luke's like uncle or whatever, to take care of Luke. And I don't recall if like these other characters have shown up in the trailer, so I just won't mention it. But you have some really great actors coming back and playing these parts. Ewan McGregor, obviously. And it's like really cool how connected this feels. Everyone seems to have aged an appropriate amount as well. Like it just feels like these people are older. They're more rugged. They've been dealing with a bunch of shit. And it's, goddamn, again, this show is easily one of my favorite things that Disney, I know we're only 2 episodes deep. Maybe they're going to like mess it up, but like, it's easily one of those shows. They're my favorite show so far on Disney Plus, just because of like, how much it tickles the nostalgia bone in me.
I really love Mandalorian though. You think this is, in 2 episodes, you're judging it as the best show?
Well,
like over The Mandalorian season 1 and 2?
Sorry, I shouldn't have said best. I should say favorite, just because of like how nostalgic it's making me feel. And again, tugging on those heartstrings, I must say.
This one ties more directly to one of the trilogies, so it touches more, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it touches me all over. Yeah,
exactly. Okay, I got to be really nerdy. When you talk about casting, the fact that the modern version of Uncle Owen matches so much to, was it Phil Brown who played the original Uncle Owen? The whole crusty, whole fed up with his past thing.
Mm-hmm. And
just the pacing, the way he speaks and everything, it sounds like he is just a younger version of him.
Yeah, like,
or am I going way too far?
No, man. Honestly, like I can see like the like how that like Joel Edgerton essentially ages into that character in like 20 years or however long. Ken, do you know this? Like the time between the end of the prequel trilogy to A New Hope, is it 30 years?
That's what I believe it was supposed to be 30 years.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought.
I'm trying to remember.
And yeah, this show is taking place about 10 years after the prequels, if I recall correctly.
Exactly 10 years.
Oh, hang on. A New Hope, Luke is 16 or 17.
Really?
I think so.
Oh.
I'm trying to remember.
Sorry, what?
He wanted to go to Anchorhead and join up. He must have been around the 18-19 mark because he was just old enough to get into the Imperial Academy, like his friends had done.
I see.
So you're saying it's 19 years? Sorry, I'm missing what you're saying here. 19 years?
Between the end of 3 and beginning of 4 should be probably about 20 years, maybe, give or take, 18 to 20 years.
According to GamesRadar.com, it's a 19-year gap between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope.
Oh, I was way off.
Yeah.
What a source.
Yeah.
But I was just remembering from the books how old he was, because in the movies they didn't really make it seem that Luke was trying to join the Imperial Academy to learn to become a pilot, which was what he was really trying to do.
I see. So yeah, I guess it's about a 20-year gap. So this takes place almost like right in the middle between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope.
Yeah, this is 10 years after Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah.
Cool.
I would agree with the Phil Brown thing. It's really great. And it is Phil Brown, just to make sure. I just double checked in IMDb the name of the actor.
I was going from memory.
Yeah, well done.
The same way I think Ted Burnett played the bartender, but I couldn't be sure.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, like to speak to that as well, like Ewan McGregor, he nails it with the voice. He did it in the prequels and he does it here. Like in terms of like garnering this like or really capturing the essence of what Alec Guinness did in the first few movies. Like it's brilliant, like how well he does.
He's indiscernible from Alec Guinness.
He's pretty great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In the sequel trilogy, when they used the different voices, they actually melded the two together, and you really can't tell the difference.
Yeah, they did that Vision cutscene. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah,
like the Vision,
exactly.
And then they showed voices in the background.
They showed the voices all right. There were little
showed them
blops up in the air, and
yes. Yeah. Sure, whatever. They played the voices, Ken. Thanks.
Wow.
Jeez Louise. But yes, yeah, it's pretty cool how accurate he is and how great he is. And I don't know. So, I want to go back to what you said to start, Ken. Really going right back.
Bringing it back, baby.
Yep.
You said that it's not well paced. You said it was rushed, and I don't agree.
No. The beginning part, I think they should have established what he was doing before this new adventure started. But then a lot of people wouldn't want to see that. They're there to see the action, right?
Yeah, that's fair. I felt like it was slow paced. I thought that was like, it was great.
Bear in mind, there's 10 years between episode 3 and this.
Yeah. And
it looks like 2 hours passed because he didn't really do anything else.
Right. Okay. I see. That's fair. I don't know. They seem to like do a slow build for me, at least in the first episode. I thought that was like a perfectly. Plus, it's also 55 minutes.
Again, watching it at 3 a.m.
Yeah, I don't know what you felt on that, Adrian. Did you think it was rushed or not?
No. Like, so I actually watched the first episode around 3 a.m. as well.
Okay.
Funnily enough,
oh wow.
One thing I realized, because like I was hanging out with my girlfriend and then I like drove her home around like probably like 1:30. Then I came home
and you called Ken via Zoom, a Zoom call, and you watched it together.
No, we cuddled and watched it together.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh, you went to each other's homes. Oh shit.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was Big Spoon. And
I was the spork.
Around, I want to say like 2:30, I was just like chilling. I was like, I'm already up. I'm not too tired. I'm gonna just wait until 3. And then I started scrolling through Twitter, and I saw an ad that said like Star Wars, like, or Obi-Wan, the Kenobi saga, whatever the fuck it's called, is now playing. And I realized, I looked into this after,
As of yesterday.
it came out at midnight, like Eastern Standard Time, the day of release.
It came
out 9 p.m.
came out at 9.
Yeah, it was 9 p.m. Pacific, and then midnight here, Eastern.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Shoot. Okay.
Yeah, man. So yeah, I figured that out after, and I was like, shit, I could have like started watching this as soon as I got home. So I finished watching the episode. I almost fell asleep, and I was like, I'm getting really tired. But yeah, like I agree, that first episode is a slow burn, and it's like it's really well done. And then episode 2 really just picks up. There is in this show, there is a child actor that is introduced that plays a character, and I notoriously hate children actors, but this kid, I'm not actually going to lie, although I don't think they are great, I picked up on a couple of these like scenes where the kid is actually making like very interesting like emotes and stuff that I feel like a lot of the time when you have a kid actor in a show, they just like deliver their lines and they have like this dead face, like this like dead look in their eyes, like kids regularly do. But this kid that's playing this character is like kind of emoting more. Obviously, when you're like putting them next to like an Obi-Wan or whoever else, like a Ewan McGregor, you're going to notice a difference between them. But I genuinely believe, I don't know, I haven't checked online because I was trying to just like have my own opinion about this. I'm curious whether or not like I'm in the minority about this, because I feel like I'm very harsh on child actors. But for me, I thought this kid was actually doing a pretty damn good job. I mean, you guys know about the kid I'm talking about. What do you guys think about that kid's acting?
I agree. That's one of the things I noted right away. The actor grew on you, and they seem to be reacting realistically rather than just reciting lines and, as you say, the dead face and that. So the kid did good.
Yeah. Simon?
Yeah, they were great. There was some moments where I was like, this is a little bit, I don't know, but maybe overacting. But for the most part, good, I would say. There is a weird, just speaking of things that we might not like, there is a very strange scene that I'd like to call to mention, and I'm going to be very vague. There's like a chase scene in it in the first episode. What a terrible, I don't know. The choreography on that was,
oof.
I don't know what was going on. I didn't love it. That would be the one criticism I had for both episodes, honestly.
I have one word question for you. Parkour?
Parkour. That's a question? I think no, we're not talking about the same thing, or we are. I don't know.
Okay.
Hard to know because we're not going to spoil it here. But it's in the first episode, and
no,
it's
I know exactly what you're talking about. It's early on in the episode, and it's just like, what? Like it's stupid because this character just like runs out of this dangerous situation with ease, and it's very confusing. I literally was just watching. I was like, what the fuck? And it almost like started the episode off on like a sour note, but I think, I know what you mean.
No, you don't. You're talking about a different thing. That's hilarious.
I think we have 3 different scenes in mind.
Oh my goodness.
I think so. Mine's in the first episode. It's midway through. It's incredibly awkward. I don't understand what was going on. I know what you're talking about, Adrian, and that one's also weird. Maybe they just don't know how to choreograph chase scenes for Obi-Wan Kenobi here.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the poorest part of the show, it seems like.
That's funny.
But it's weird. And that's the one thing that I didn't love, but I'm surprised you're pointing out a different moment. One thing I'd like to say too, Rupert Friend. I appreciate his makeup, like the makeup they did for him, and his acting, actually. As, of course, he plays the Grand Inquisitor. Like, I only know him from really Homeland. I don't think I've seen him in anything else. He was Agent 47 in Hitman. But anyway, okay. I don't know if anyone watched that movie. I didn't see it. But
no.
But yeah, I thought he's been pretty good. Moses Ingram is really good too. Honestly, I really like her. She's getting criticism online. It's very annoying, and I think that they literally predicted this ahead of time. I don't know if you guys saw this, but she was apparently told by Lucasfilm executives that there's going to be like sexist comments coming your way on social media, so be careful. And it's like, that's so unfortunate, but I don't want to get into that. This is really depressing. But anyways, I think she's doing a really good job. And the music's also amazing. Theme song by John Williams. I mean, how amazing is that?
Part of that is what ties back to what Adrian was saying. It grabs you right by the nostalgia with that.
Yeah, the music for sure. Yeah, Kate Herron does a great job there too. Deborah Chow directed the first 2 episodes. Is she directing all of the episodes?
I don't know. That's a good question.
I didn't think she was, but
I don't know. Yeah, that's it's interesting. Again, I'm pretty impressed, I must say. Nostalgia for sure is A+ for me, and the way that they're handling various characters and throwing in like little Easter eggs and things like that, I think they're doing a really good job. The only thing again that really bothered me, not really bothered, I wouldn't even say really bothered me, but I thought was odd, was this very strange choreography, even in the way that it's shot for that particular chase scene at the midpoint of episode 1, not the beginning. Although the beginning one, I do see where you're coming from, Adrian.
Yeah.
I mean, this is an action adventure TV series, so it's not that unusual that we'd have multiple chase scenes that we'd be confused over. But anyway.
Yeah.
In that second episode, by the way, the location that they're in, the steampunk kind of, not steampunk, sorry, a cyberpunk nature of that city is really cool. And like I thought that the slow pace of it, I don't know, just brings back again a lot of nostalgia vibes. And I did find that it was paced kind of slow. Like the way that they do it, I was impressed with the pacing. I'm curious if, can you dislike the pacing as it goes forward, or you feel like it's rushed, or what's going to happen?
No. It's just the beginning of episode 1.
Oh, just the beginning. Okay.
After that, I absolutely adored it.
Okay, yeah, interesting.
Do either of you remember the name of that city they were in?
It's like it's Dayu or something like that.
Okay, because it's not one that I remember seeing before. It in some ways it reminded me of Nar Shaddaa, but
yeah,
definitely cool.
It's cool stuff. Cool stuff.
Yeah. And then just real quick, Simon, I just looked this up on Wikipedia, so I don't know how accurate it is, but Deborah Chow is indeed directing all 6 episodes.
Oh, nice.
And
cool.
The planet is called D-A-I-U, sorry, Y-U. So I think it was Dayu or Dayu. I can't remember exactly. So
Daylight coming, we want to go home? Oh, no.
I was going to make a different reference. Dayu. Adrian, huh?
Oh, is that a reference to Caillou, the kid that's 6 feet tall?
Yes. The incessantly bald child.
Yeah.
Does he have a serious illness?
Cancer?
I hope not, but alas.
I hope he does.
There's many seasons. There's many seasons of that show. Do no years pass? I don't know.
Well, there's only 5 seasons of that show. And I think
Would that not be 5 years?
The season finale is him in a hospital.
No, is it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is, dude. And he dies. He dies. His parents are there. They start crying.
It isn't.
Yeah.
No, it is not. All right. Let's move on. Sorry. Before we move on to the news, I wanted to just briefly mention, because I saw this trailer, I thought it was awesome. The Gray Man trailer was fantastic. Mm-hmm. Ryan Gosling and Chris Evans going head to head, and Chris Evans's incredible mustache is a highlight. And it looks like it's going to be an incredibly fun movie to watch. And that's coming out soon. That's like the beginning of July or mid-July or something like that.
Yeah.
And of course, directed by the Russo brothers. So, man, sign me up for that. I'm kind of hoping it goes to theaters, but I have not heard anything about that so far. This movie's like, I think Netflix's most expensive movie to date, if I recall correctly.
I'm fairly certain they did say that it was coming to theaters first.
I think they did say that it is coming to theaters. I have like a vague memory of it coming to theaters. July 15th is when it releases.
But is it like a theatrical release? Like, yeah, I don't know. Is it more of a theatrical release like they released that Adam Sandler movie? What's it called? Uncut Gems?
Yeah, it's a limited theatrical release, and it comes out on July 15th, and then it shows up on Netflix July 22nd. So I guess it's going to be like a Uncut Gems Marriage Story type thing.
Will it go to our theaters here, like Cineplex theaters? That's my question. Or is it going to go to like more like Waterloo, Princess Twin, more indie theaters? Because it's not an indie movie. Let's say that. This is an incredibly big budget film. So
I expect it to go to a Landmark for sure, but probably to Cineplex as well, simply because of how big it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's huge. The actors in this, Anna de Armas is in it as well. Yeah, I'm so excited. It looks really, really great. And lastly, the last trailer I watched, Dead Reckoning, Mission Impossible, just final like quick mention. Also an amazing trailer. It looks like it's going to be incredibly action packed, but we've gone on long enough, I think, with what we're watching. So I think if you guys will allow it, we should move on to the news. What do you think?
No.
Oh, well, that's too bad. Let's begin with two chosen focus stories that Adrian and Kenneth have deemed the most topical this week. Number one, as reported by entertainment website Nerdist, the Star Wars Celebrations Lucasfilm Showcase was presented on May 26th with a slew of film and TV announcements for various upcoming Lucasfilm properties. To start, they showed off the trailer for the Diego Luna starring Disney Plus Star Wars spy TV series Andor. Andor follows Rebel intelligence officer Cassian Andor in a Rogue One, a Star Wars story prequel TV show, which will premiere its 12-episode season on August 31st, 2022. They also teased The Mandalorian's third season with a freshly announced February 23rd, 2023 release date, while following that with further details for executive producer John Watts' recently announced Star Wars coming-of-age story, Skeleton Crew. Skeleton Crew was presented as a Star Wars Disney Plus TV series that will star Captain Marvel actor Jude Law and will follow 4 children embarking on a journey across the galaxy. The new series is being described as having an 80s Amblin movie aesthetic, while also being identified by Star Wars executive producer Dave Filoni as a show as much for kids as the Clone Wars animated series is. In terms of non-Star Wars Lucasfilm properties, actor Warwick Davis was on stage to show off the trailer to the Ron Howard-produced Willow sequel Disney Plus TV series launching on November 30th, 2022, while actor Harrison Ford came out on stage to tease a photo and the new June 30th, 2023 release date for the James Mangold-directed Indiana Jones 5. Throughout the showcase, legendary composer John Williams conducted a live orchestra that played the iconic and rousing music from Star Wars and Indiana Jones. Kenneth Stadelbauer, way more Star Wars news. What are you thinking? This is a lot to unpack. I mean, I guess we should probably start with Andor, I suppose, and then kind of go on from there.
Andor just looked beautiful. It's the prequel to Rogue One, and it is a war show. It is not a whole bunch of guys with glow sticks. It looks gritty. I like it.
Yeah, spy series. Adrian, your thoughts on Andor?
Andor, more like Blandor.
Oh,
ow!
I'm just kidding. It actually looks pretty good. I like it. It does not look bad. I was pretty negative when they announced this Andor series. I was kind of just like, "Who the hell wants this? Why do we want to see more of this character?" And I don't know.
Spy series, man. A spy series in the Star Wars universe. That's what it is.
Yeah, I just wouldn't have minded them just having a different character entirely. But again, like this trailer has kind of reinvigorated my interest. I guess I should just say invigorated my interest, because I never was invigorated about this show too much. But it looks interesting enough. I do like the idea of this like spy, almost like espionage thriller in the Star Wars universe, and I'm curious what they can do with this. Although I like his character from Rogue One, I just never really saw any interest to see this character expanded on anymore. But I'm more than willing to see what they can do with this. So yeah, what did you think, man?
Yeah, I loved it. And the trailer, like the start of the trailer specifically with that drum beat, I thought was just, oh man, so on point. That's just a good trailer. I don't know if it's going to be good. We're going to find out. Because I think Tony Gilroy, who's show running it, unless he was swapped out, I can't even remember now, because there's some weird thing with COVID. He couldn't show run it on site for some reason. Do you guys remember that? It's a COVID thing. Anyways, Tony Gilroy, he came in for the reshoots for Star Wars, a Rogue One, a Star Wars story, and of course, it was a Gareth Edwards movie, that Star Wars Rogue One. But Tony Gilroy was brought in and did a lot of the reshoots and rewrites for that movie, and so he's doing the show running of this show. But that's the only thing I'm worried about, is that when you have a showrunner, like, you can't be on site, etc., it kind of worries me a little bit. But other than that, this trailer looked brilliant. And again, the beats of the trailer, the narration, the sounds from the trailer, the nostalgic factor, and new sounds as well. And then they showed like the back of certain characters. It looked like it was what's his name? Am I crazy? The general dude from, I'm failing you on names here, but Ken, you can help me out in a second. The general dude from The Last Jedi and General Hux.
Hux.
He's in it. Is that not right?
Didn't think that was him, but sure.
There's the back of his head. There's the guy with red hair. I mean, who else could it be?
It could have been.
I think if any, well, because like you got to consider this is pre New Hope. So if it's Hux,
He's 12.
that would be like he'd be like super young.
So it can't be him. Nah, damn.
No, the only other character that has red hair in Star Wars canon that I can think of off the top of my head, Cal Kestis from Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah, but he's standing in an Imperial starship. I'm just foolish.
Maybe he turns rogue. Maybe he turns evil.
You know what? I don't even know if this person is standing inside of an Imperial starship. I've got the details very wrong, it seems. I didn't think about the timeline.
Are we operating under that there's only 2 redheads in the entire Star Wars canon and only 2 black people?
Yeah, I think that seems right.
Black people? Wait, what?
That was an old thing. When they showed Finn, everyone said, "Oh, it has to be Lando's son because there's no other black people in Star Wars."
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
To be fair, the reason I'm saying this is because they shot him from the back and they didn't show his face, and it looked purposeful, like it was always an Easter egg. That's why
I think you just gave away the plot. They shot him in the back.
Oh my god, what a twist!
Well, I can't give away the plot because it's a trailer. If it's in the trailer, we can say it here. Come on, Ken, pay attention. All right. So moving on to the next thing, we got The Mandalorian's 3rd season was announced, at least for they didn't do anything but tell us about the release date. Am I right there, Ken? Or did you notice anything else that they teased?
Well, I saw a picture.
Oh, there's a photo.
Is that a picture?
Yeah.
Is it like a sneak peek picture that you weren't supposed to get, or why are you so cagey?
I'm not sure if it was tied to that or not, but it's a certain character on a throne. So.
Oh, yes. So there was good call. So there was actually a weird like teaser reel. If you were there on site at the Star Wars celebration, there was like a teaser reel that I think they're going to release to the public eventually, or they're going to just take bits of that and put it into the The Mandalorian 3rd season trailer. But this is a long way out, so I imagine that they have lots of time to do that, and they probably won't be inclined to do it until at least Andor is well into its 12-episode run. But yes, it was Bo-Katan. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes. I wasn't sure if that would be spoilery or not, because I'm not sure if anyone else saw it. But that tells stories in itself.
Yeah.
It does. I don't call that a spoiler because if they don't release that, they just released it to the public. And everyone talked about it in every article. The Nerdist article talked about it too. But I feel like that, I don't know, Adrian, correct me. I don't think that's a spoiler, is it?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, no.
If it's released, it can't be.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was released. It's just not publicly released. Anyone who's there, because the Star Wars celebration is a fan event. So you got all these fans there. In fact, I saw a lot of the clips from it. In fact, you sent me one, Ken, that was literally somebody just video recorded it and then posted it on YouTube.
I have no knowledge of that.
You have no knowledge of it?
Oh my God, Ken was the one that recorded it.
I would never forward an illegal video.
Oh, I see. I thought
if anybody is listening to this.
For a second, I thought you were playing into the game of we don't talk outside this podcast, and I was a little worried. I'm like, Ken, I got.
No, I talk to anybody. You know that. Homeless, you guys, whatever.
Yeah, just making sure because I got to talk to you at work. So,
but it's just I'm not going to admit to sharing a video that is illegally recorded.
I see. Okay, well, you never. Yeah, that wasn't you. It must have been somebody else.
Yeah, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jimmy's dead now. He got killed. It's canon.
Jimmy's not dead.
Lucasfilm got him.
Jimmy's fine. Jimmy's on vacation because he heard we're going on hiatus, Adrian. So just relax. Jimmy's our audio video technician, their audience. And Adrian doesn't love Jimmy. He's very rude to him on a consistent basis. He deserves the break. Let's just say that. But okay. So The Mandalorian's third season. Anything else to talk about that, Ken or Adrian? Anything else you guys want to say?
Well, should we talk about the implication that if Bo-Katan's on the throne, she needs the Darksaber to rule properly, so she may end up being at odds with Din Djarin.
Yeah.
Yes. Also, apparently, Din Djarin is going back to Mandalore. That's like the basic premise of season 3.
Yeah.
The hell was that?
Oh my goodness. There's someone racing in the background.
Sorry, I live in a very odd town.
Okay.
They're filming the Gran Turismo series behind you.
Yeah.
Fast 10 is happening out there.
Yeah. Fast 10, your seatbelts, Ken. But okay. Yes. Apparently, he's going to go back to Mandalore to gain favor with the Mandalorians there. That's what I understood the plot to be, based on, again, that teaser, which I imagine that they're going to launch. If they don't release that, I'd be shocked. That is literally going to be a part of their package because it's released. Everyone knows what it is. There's like multiple description options online.
And that follows suit every other celebration they do that.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, it's like if you're lucky enough to get tickets to the Star Wars celebration, then you're lucky enough to see some sneak peeks. But okay. But moving on from there, we also have John Watts, who's the director of Spider-Man No Way Home, Homecoming, and Far From Home, is making a Star Wars coming-of-age story. We talked about this. I don't know if it was last week, Adrian, or the week before. It might have been last week. Because this was teased in the Vanity Fair article in which Kathleen Kennedy, who's a longtime executive producer of Star Wars and other things, it was talking to Vanity Fair and talking about this series, and they somehow had an inside scoop on the John Watts series. And it's now called Skeleton Crew. It now stars Jude Law, and they're looking to cast 4 children for this show, which has been codenamed previously Grammar Rodeo. Ken, what do you think about that? And are you most excited about this or Andor? Like, what's your...
I'm excited about it all. I'm not sure if I sent it to Adrian saying that this is like repeating to back when I was 14 and first discovered Star Wars. There's so much neat stuff happening. But for me, the Grammar Rodeos were the episode of The Simpsons where Bart got fake ID, rented a car, and the bunch of them went on a joyride. Would make sense if that's a similar plot. My thing is Jude Law, what character is he playing?
Yes. I did not watch that episode of The Simpsons, admittedly. I did hear that it was literally related to that episode, but I just know the plot without having much other context.
I don't know, maybe like Jude Law plays some like Imperial soldier or whatever, and these kids just like hijack this like plane, and he's on it, fucking ship. And they hijack the ship, and maybe he's on it. They don't realize it, and he's like, "God dang you, children!
Yeah,
let me put you in your place." And then he kills them all in the first episode, and it's just a series following Jude Law.
Could be.
Yeah, for sure. They get on a Boeing 747, and they're like, "Who put these mother French fry snakes on this mother French fry plane?"
Yeah, like that hit movie,
French fries on a plane.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, cool.
What I was hoping is he was playing the training bot that teaches younglings how to attune lightsabers, and they accidentally stole that ship because that ship has been in function for hundreds of years.
It's possible.
Yeah, this is a neat storyline. I'm excited for this one.
I think it has a lot of potential. It has a lot of potential for failure too, but I'm looking forward to it.
Well, yeah, the idea that they have to cast 4 children, and you got to make sure all 4 of these kids can act well. Like,
bingo.
That's my biggest worry.
Yep. This is Stranger Things, though. You just got to get this like kids with as much star prowess as those Stranger Things. Yeah, Stranger Things kids, because those guys are really good. Like they're all 4 of them, 5 of them. Wait, 5. There's 5 of them, right? Am I crazy? Millie Bobby Brown,
6, 7,
and then there are more. Yeah, that's true. As the seasons go on, there are even more kids. But as they start with season 1, there's like 5, I think.
Or at it.
But
yeah,
and they're really good. Like that's great child acting. They're not that young, I guess. Maybe they're a little bit older. But yeah, these kids are supposed to be 11 and 12, apparently, that they're casting for this.
Ugh.
So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But yeah. And the concept of it being as much for kids as the Clone Wars animated series, I don't know how to take that because I haven't watched the Clone Wars. I've seen a few episodes. Does that mean it's more mature?
Can I nerd in here for a second?
Yes, that's why you're here, Ken. Come on.
I think they're actually talking about the animated series that was a precursor to what everybody else knows as the Clone Wars.
Oh.
Because there actually was a Clone Wars cartoon series.
Like the Samurai Jack one?
Yes, that style of animation.
But that's not the one that Dave Filoni made?
No, but I think this is what they were referring to when they said the animated series.
Maybe, but it's literally Dave.
Because they usually just call the Clone Wars series. They don't call it the Clone Wars animated series. That's how they usually differentiate between the two.
Sorry, but I mean, yeah, but I quoted it here. as much for kids. I don't know. I thought that was self-explanatory, but anyway, much
As
for
the
kids
Clone
as the
Wars.
Clone Wars. I put animated series in there because
Okay.
I don't want to confuse anyone.
Then it could be either or. Because if it was directly from them, that's how they differentiate between the two series.
I'm pretty sure it's Filoni's series just because it's Filoni saying it.
Okay.
But I mean,
'Cause-
that would be my guess.
That has a lot of adult content in it as well.
Yeah.
Where the animated one was definitely kiddie.
Okay.
So there might be some dark stuff in it.
Just a little bit of dark stuff. Okay. Fair enough. Sorry for confusing you with my write-up there. That was not my intention. Adrian, thoughts? Anything?
Like on that show again, like my biggest worry is just like casting these like 4 fucking kids and making sure that they're good.
Yeah.
But again, I like this kind of idea of a coming of age story, and then you again mentioning like Stranger Things and how well those kids did in those like first few seasons. Like this could potentially be really, really great. And again, John Watts has obviously proven himself with like the Spider-Man trilogy that we just got. So
Yeah.
I'm in it, dude. Again, yeah, I also haven't seen all of the Clone Wars. I've seen a couple episodes here and there and all of that jazz. And I know that like Dave Filoni's Clone Wars series, it does go dark and like it does deal with some like pretty dark themes throughout the 7 season run or whatever it is. So it's all about finding that right balance. I feel like a lot of Star Wars though in general is like for kids and adults. Like I think the Phantom Menace is like one of those prime examples. Like I watched that as a kid. Jar Jar Binks was put in the movie for kids, so you can be like, look at this idiot, So
The droids in the prequel trilogy, same reason.
Mm-hmm. So I don't necessarily think. Again, I don't know fully the tone of the Clone Wars animated series, but I genuinely believe a lot of Star Wars is made for both children and adults alike. So
Yeah. They're best when I feel like they blur the fine line between being children's fare and adult. Like Pixar movies, arguably. I guess.
yeah,
Maybe.
yeah,
It's a weird connection, but yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, sure.
Only without the tears.
I want to cry. I want this episode,
Actually,
these episodes to make me cry. That's what I want.
this has a possibility of actually doing that if it brings it down to a kid's level and how the kids see what's going on. It actually could be emotional.
Yeah.
Sure. I feel like the Obi-Wan Kenobi series has the power to make us cry potentially, but time will tell. But moving on from Star Wars, there were a few other things, even though this was the Star Wars celebration, there were a few other things teased. One of which was Willow, the Ron Howard produced Willow Disney Plus TV series. Ken, thoughts on the trailer?
For me, I geeked out completely. It is the original story, only continued on in a more epic fashion, with Willow matured and taking over with Billy Barty's character from the original movie, as he's the older wizard now. It just looks epic. I am totally stoked to see this. I didn't read any of the sequels that Lucas wrote. I don't think this has any connection to them. I think this is a totally new animal, and I'm on board for it. I'm liking it.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks good. Looks really good. I'm curious.
Yeah.
Adrian, I can't remember. Connection to Willow or not?
No, my sister really liked Willow when she was a kid, but I think Willow was a little bit before my time, so I never watched it when I was young. This series is a sequel to that movie, correct?
Yeah.
Right? It's not like a reboot or whatever. Yeah,
No.
yeah, I see that you have it written here.
It's a sequel years later, yes.
Okay. I don't know. I did watch the trailer though. It does look cool. I didn't realize that Willow was this swords and magic type thing. I honestly don't know what I thought Willow was. Watching that trailer.
Yeah, it's a medieval fantasy type genre.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe closer to the series launch, maybe I'll watch that original movie, and if I like it enough, I'll watch the series. But yeah, all in all, not much attachment to this. I don't care too much about this, but as someone that doesn't know much, the trailer was pretty neat.
Cool. All right.
Yeah, man. What about you?
I liked it. Yeah, I thought it was good. I'm curious. I just got to wait and see how it is, because I feel like it could not do well. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
I hope it does well, because I really did like Willow as a kid. There's a lot of that I've talked about some previous episodes of our podcast, Adrian and Ken. I'm sure you remember. But Willow for me is very much a McDonald's ball pit type situation. You know what I'm saying?
Bringing it back.
The the nostalgia factor that you just as a kid you just remember that idea of jumping in the McDonald's ball pit, like the play place air thing, and it's the smell of
you owe your brother like $20, by the way.
The smell of dirty socks, etc. It's classic. It's classics. I can getting those smells when I was watching the Willow trailer. He sent me it, actually. Funny enough, mentioning my brother whose idea was or metaphor was the McDonald's ball pit in the first place. He sent me the Willow trailer via text, and he's like, "Hey, check this out." I was like, "Yeah, looks good. That's good. I'm excited for it." Lastly, at this event for the Lucasfilm showcase, we had, of course, Harrison Ford came out on stage after John Williams pretty much played him in with the Indiana Jones theme song. And then they teased both the release date and, of course, they teased that photo of Indy walking across that bridge. Ken, thoughts on this?
Again, you're playing up to the old guy who saw them all in the theater.
Right.
I have a Stetson fedora that I bought in '84, the same year as I believe the first one came out, or around that time.
Cool.
I love them all. I even liked Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Oh boy,
there are flaws in it, but I enjoyed it. They're all Pulp Fiction. They're all ridiculous, larger than life. There's nothing less realistic about aliens than there is face melting Nazis. But I'm stoked for it.
Yeah, it's not the aliens as much as the nuke the fridge situation that, and the monkey swinging that really sets me off about Indiana Jones 4. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying, G.
All right. Yeah, that's the biggest issue with that movie. I'm actually really happy, as much as I love Steven Spielberg, the man's a legend, but I'm actually kind of happy that it is James Mangold. It's nice to see like a different chef in the kitchen for this.
And I'm glad they're still having Indiana Jones as the main character, because the whole idea that an actor, male or female, has a shelf life, and then after that, you're no longer a viable member of society is ridiculous.
For sure. Are you saying that you would rather them not recast Indy? Or
I don't want to see him recast. That's another story altogether. Yeah. But there's a lot of blowback rather on the internet about Indy being too old, Harrison Ford being too old to act, all this other stuff. And it's like, if he's having fun with the role, let's do this.
Look, man, the guy just flew a plane into a golf course not too long ago, so I'm sure he's fine. You know what I'm saying?
A plane that expert aviators said once that plane goes down, it's a miracle to land.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous that, I don't understand how he crashed a plane and recovered. He also crushed his leg on a friggin' Millennium Falcon door and recovered relatively.
You heard the backstory on that one?
Partially, but sure. Tell the audience.
Abrams was saying that while he's panicky, he threw his back out trying to lift the door.
Yes.
Harrison Ford got on his cell phone, called a buddy of his with a helicopter, and said he needed to be airlifted to a hospital.
Wow.
While he's pinned underneath this thing.
That's wild, yeah.
Wild.
Yeah, he's a real-life action star. Yeah.
Yeah.
For shizzles.
For me, again, I never watched any of those Indiana Jones movies. I'll watch them eventually, maybe before this movie comes out. But the whole aspect of not recasting Harrison Ford for Indiana Jones, I think I disagree with that. I think they should cast Alden Ehrenreich for Indiana Jones. Sure. I think that's the perfect casting choice, personally.
That's actually, so you bring out that was a partial joke, I'm sure. But
it was, yeah.
Yeah, but that's a great question for Ken. I'm actually very curious about that. So Kathleen Kennedy recently said, Ken, that she didn't like the idea that they recast Harrison Ford, or not really, but they cast a young Han Solo in the Solo, a Star Wars story called Solo. What's that?
The Han Solo movie called Solo, a Star Wars story.
That's it.
Yep.
Thank you. So she was saying, Kathleen Kennedy was saying that was a mistake that they cast Alden Ehrenreich, that they did that at all. They shouldn't have even approached that property that way. Do you agree with that? And did you like the Solo, a Star Wars story called Solo? Whatever the heck you just said.
The Han Solo movie called Solo, a Star Wars story.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, the first part, I did love the movie. And I remember, again, all the toxic fans saying that it was a mistake to recast. Harrison Ford should have done it, even though it would be a ridiculous movie with so much CG
Yeah.
that people would be complaining, especially since CG technology at the time could not do that.
Yeah. Barely can do it now, really.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
And I think she was just reading the wrong people's comments. The same way that people, I don't know if you recall, there was a big complaint that it was launched May 25th. That's a slight correction from the show, by the way. You said early May. It was only early May in the US. The rest of the world got it around the 25th, which is the anniversary of Star Wars.
Yeah.
Mm.
But
You're talking about you're talking about Solo launched.
yes.
Yeah. I think it was May 9th or something like that in the US or something like that. And then it was actually launched everywhere 25th.
23rd to the 25th, the rest of the world.
Right. Yeah.
Mostly the 25th.
My apologies.
No worries. I cried for a bit. But I was getting a lot of people in the comment sections saying that why are they doing this? Why aren't they launching it at the traditional time of December? Which is funny because the first two trilogies, all of them released in May. May's also when George Lucas' birthday is. Probably the reason the other ones did. And they only started launching in December when Disney took over.
Yes, but I also agree with those people, assuming they weren't belligerent, that they should have launched it in December. Because if they had...
They should have, for the reason you gave last podcast, which is it was too close to the other movie.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Maybe they...
And it was also too close to other blockbusters.
Yeah. You know what? Actually, to be honest, based on what you just said about, Lucas's birthday and the fact that the first movie came out on the 25th, I wonder if when they were putting Solo out on in May, whether they thought that they might course correct the dates so that they were always in May for the next movie cycle. Because they skipped.
I was thinking that, and I was thinking because of how much negativity there was from the fan base, that they were thinking, well, we'll release it on the anniversary. The fans will love that. And most of the fans that were toxic didn't even have a bloody clue.
Yeah. Because Last Jedi came out a full year and a half later. It came out in December of the following year, not even that year.
Yeah.
So that would...
You mean Rise of Skywalker, just to correct you.
Sorry, yes, of course. Rise of Skywalker. Thank you very much.
Which is a shit movie. Right. That movie fucking sucks. Let's say it again.
Yeah.
Fuck that movie.
Rise of Pandering, right?
Yes. Yeah. Well, I guess we all have the same opinion. But again, people love that movie somehow.
For the viewers who aren't familiar, or the people who aren't familiar, I love Rise of Skywalker as much as Adrian and Simon do.
Yeah. It's true, which I almost wish you liked it just so that we could have a more even conversation, because people do somehow like it. And I just don't get it. I can't understand it. I've yet to find somebody who I can talk to who actually would admit that they like it, though. So I'm waiting.
My best friend actually does.
Oh.
But I don't know if you gentlemen remember how much I kept trying to watch it again to find things I liked about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw it twice in theaters, too. I saw it with a family friend and my brother, after I think the three of us saw it in theaters together. I'm not sure.
Did we only see it the once together?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes.
Just the once.
Okay, because I saw it twice in the theater, I believe, as well. But as for the casting the younger version of an actor, I don't think that should really be an issue for the most part. But if you're just doing it to keep a series going, like if you have a legitimate story to tell, sure, do it. You could even get... the name escapes me, the person who played him in the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles. He was in Boondock Saints, I believe, as well.
I think we would be throwing this question to you, Ken, but we can look it up.
Norman Reedus.
Yeah.
The other one. Troy Duffy? Is it? No.
It is.
Now you're going to make me actually look.
It's Sean Patrick Flannery.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, okay.
Troy Duffy was the one who directed Boondock Saints.
Mm-hmm.
But he played him in the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles. He could do it, but the thing is, unless they're actually going back far enough, you're going to be getting to the point where you're getting an actor playing somebody who was the age of Harrison Ford when he started off. So why not just make a new character?
Mm.
Oh, I see.
They should bring in Nathan Drake, I think.
What?
Connect the universes.
I feel like I lost you on that. I don't understand. But okay.
But if they were to do a Young Indiana Jones Chronicles again, that I would like, or anything along those lines, or something in that world with another character. Heck, even do the adventures of Henry Jones Sr. When he was younger.
Yes. Yeah, that would have been cool.
But
for sure.
I don't think Indiana Jones casting somebody else to play him the same age as what Harrison Ford was when he started, that seems kind of dodgy to me.
So would you then, if you had the choice, if you were a Disney executive, would you make sequel to Han Solo's story?
Yes, absolutely.
You see what I did there? What's the sequel? 'Cause it's not a Solo anymore if it's the second one. Get it?
Yeah, it'd be the Han sequel.
I would definitely go to see Duo.
Han sequel,
Yeah.
the sequel story. Yeah, Han Duo. Yeah, that's fine. Whatever.
Yeah, that's a better one. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. That's fine.
But again, it would be before the age Harrison Ford was or Han Solo was in A New Hope. So it would be fine. It's just when you cross over and you have somebody playing somebody that's the same age or older as the actor who originally played, I think it becomes weird.
So it would be weird for you if what's his name from Falcon and the Winter Man?
Ooh,
If he played Luke.
Bucky Barnes, Sebastian Stan.
Sebastian Stan. Thank you.
I always think that's nonsense.
Yeah, it can't happen, is what you're saying.
Because Luke was a teenager, a late teen in episode 4. What age would he be playing Luke?
Yeah.
We've
Right. Okay.
pretty much seen all of Luke's life.
Yeah, well, we're missing, what is that, a 30-year gap, though? That's a 30-year gap, right? Am I wrong? Between Force Awakens and The Last Jedi?
You mean Return of the Jedi and Force Awakens?
What am I saying? Am I insane? Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, Return of the Jedi. They could do that. That actually would make sense.
Well, that's what it is, though, right? Because that's
Yeah.
what most of these shows are landing in terms of time period, I mean. So that's what their thought process was. But does that work? Because isn't it still problematic? Well, now, based on what Kathleen Kennedy is saying about replacing legacy actors, like these legendary characters, with new actors, it seems like that will never happen ever.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm also the one who said that I would like to see Darth Vader between 3 and 4, and we may actually be getting that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
One other thing to mention as well, they're making a Lando series. They announced this a long time ago.
Are they still running with it?
I guess. I don't know who reported on this. I read this when I was looking at the research for the Star Wars Celebration Lucasfilm Showcase, and they were mentioning that they didn't really talk too much about Ahsoka or the Lando series, and they showed the logo again for Lando. I'm like, oh yeah, that's happening. But the assumption for me was that was a Donald Glover series. But
Well, that's what I was going to say. No love lost against Billy D. Williams, but I don't think he could play young Lando.
yeah, I don't know about that. That's a good point. So like,
The man can barely walk right now.
but Billy D. Williams, it sounds like would have been their plan if they announced the Lando series. They announced Lando after Solo had aired, so that you'd think that they would have the foresight, like, oh wow, this movie's not doing as well as we thought. I don't understand.
Yeah.
Is the timeline a little messed up, or was Kathleen Kennedy kind of not
In her right mind?
I think there's too
knowing
many
what-
people whispering in her ear, and she's
confused?
reacting.
Maybe. I don't know. All I can say is that I'd love to see Donald Glover come back as Lando and Alden Ehrenreich come back as Han Solo. And if they could do that in the Lando series, that would be amazing. So, but maybe the Lando series isn't happening anymore. Maybe it's over.
Because again, we would actually get to see the story continue then if there's a Lando, because they could finish the thought process they had in the Han Solo story called Solo Star Wars story.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to say. Again, you got to leave it to the professional.
Only Adrian can do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The Han Solo movie called Solo Star Wars Story.
Thank you.
Yes. Very good. Yeah. Anything else to say before we conclude this Star Wars story?
Basically, what they're doing is people my generation, they're giving them everything they've ever wanted.
Or not. Oh, yes. Your generation. Yeah. Sure. Because people are so negative.
Yeah, my generation, well, ignore the negative people out there. There's going to be a lot of people my age or a little younger, probably, that absolutely adored Willow, who absolutely adored the Amblin movies, like E.T. and things like that. So this stuff is going to be just up their alley.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Cool. Adrian, anything to add?
No. Rise of Skywalker is a bad movie. I imagine this is probably going to be the last time we bring up Star Wars. So, got to make sure everyone knows. Rise of Skywalker, bad movie.
Indeed. Moving on to story number two. As entertainment website IGN reports, Sony is currently working on another 3 TV series adaptations for major PlayStation Studios properties. First off, Sony is apparently working with streaming service Netflix to create a Horizon TV show. Horizon Zero Dawn, and its recent sequel, Horizon Forbidden West, follow a character by the name of Aloy who fights robot dinosaurs in a post-apocalyptic United States in order to save humanity. The second hit property that Sony is developing into a TV series is action-adventure game series God of War. Amazon is working with Sony on this particular project, which will follow a character by the name of Kratos, who has a storied past living amongst gods of both Greek and Norse mythology. Lastly, Sony is looking to develop the ever-popular racing simulation game Gran Turismo into a TV series. There have been 8 games in the Gran Turismo car racing franchise, with each game focused particularly upon honoring cars, car culture, and the racing experience, as opposed to any specific character or narrative. Sony has not partnered with anyone as of yet to help produce and distribute the Gran Turismo series, but considering Sony Pictures' penchant for working with a variety of distribution partners, almost any major film and TV distributor is likely fair game. Adrian, I'll throw this story to you. Apologies to Kenneth Stadalbar for talking about video games.
Yes.
What do you make of this?
Well, Simon, I make a few things. I'm going to start with the Gran Turismo series, and there's 2 routes Sony can take this movie. They can make this into an animated Pixar-like film like Cars, and it's just going to be cars. They're the characters. They're driving around, all that stuff, which is far less likely. The other thing...
So they're talking? Wait, the cars can talk?
Yeah, the cars are like, hey, I'm a Ford.
I love car culture.
Yeah. Hey, there's a...
Nissan.
Yeah.
Nissan. No, it's a Nissan, whatever.
Nissan. I don't know cars.
Hey, I'm Honda. Hey, I'm Honda.
Honda Civic.
That's me.
And then there's... who invited Hyundai to the party?
Right. Yeah.
Dumb shit like that. That is definitely not likely, and I doubt will happen. I think, if anything, again, they're going to go down the path of this, making this some sort of live action, film or TV franchise about, people's love of vehicles, and make it, down to earth and way more realistic. And I know they're looking at making this into a TV series, but the first thing I kind of thought of is Ford versus Ferrari, directed by James Mangold. And, how I didn't really know much about that story and about those characters, but, you're following essentially the rise of, Ford and Ferrari, like these 2 major car companies, and them going up against each other. And I feel like you could make a pretty enticing drama around these different car companies going up against each other and having these big races and stuff like that. And I'm curious how you can kind of work this into some sort of interesting story.
Just to pause you there for a second, Gran Turismo has no characters, though, whereas Ford versus Ferrari, that's kind of the beauty of that. Because Matt Damon and Christian Bale are, there's a really compelling story between the 2 of them. Their relationship is arguably the fuel of that.
Yeah.
So I do wonder, what they can create. But I feel like if they hire the right showrunner, it'll be all good. But yeah.
Yeah, that's the one where I'm actually most surprised about. I'm how are you going to make this into some sort of compelling show?
Considering that most video games adaptations in terms of TV and film adaptations of video games are not great. So.
Yeah, no, I agree completely. But I don't know if they've even mentioned what kind of genre this is going to be. Maybe they make this into a docu-series, and it's literally just going to be about going to different crazy racetracks that are featured in the game and talking about different vehicles and stuff like that. That's definitely a possibility. Am I wrong thinking that?
I definitely do not think you're wrong. Yeah, what's that show? Sorry, Top Gear? Very popular?
Yeah, yeah, that one. That seems right.
Yeah.
And the game does tend to focus on what is hot at the time of that game's release, what is the Hot Wheel franchise, or else going back to a nostalgic car and throwing it in there. But I was thinking what they may do is just create their own storyline and throw it into that universe and focus on a handful of racers and how they're dealing with the different circuits.
Yeah.
So you're saying fictional or
fictional?
Okay.
But they can showcase these hot cars as well. The car guys are going to want to see a GTR, and they're going to want to see these cars in that, but have characters in that behind the cars as well. That way they can get an actual audience instead of just gearheads.
Yeah, possibly. It is a very gearhead game, though, to be honest. It's a...
Oh, for shizzle.
The way it's...
Well, people buy $400 steering wheels for it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know that one. I'm curious about it. I'm definitely not really interested. I'm not a car guy. I've only played like Gran Turismo on like the PlayStation 1 when I was a kid, and I had no idea what the hell I was doing. And it's just not really up my alley. But if they create a interesting drama around this, then I'll probably watch it or at least give it a try. But yeah, that's just one I'm very curious about. In terms of, I think we briefly touched on, this God of War series that Amazon's developing many episodes ago, because I remember this being announced like, I don't know, either earlier this year or late last year. And
I don't think that, I'm pretty sure Amazon didn't call dibs. I don't think they won the bidding war.
oh, really?
At that time, I mean, Amazon might have been in the running, but that was not confirmed yet. Like Sony said that it was going to happen. I'm fairly certain this was new news. I'm almost positive.
New news. Well, I'll take your word for it, my friend. But this one is something I'm very interested in because I have a connection with the God of War like sequel sort of reboot that they made on PlayStation 4. And I didn't really have a big attachment to those original games, where it's the I guess the Greek mythology aspect of it. In the God of War like reboot / requel series, it takes place in like Norse mythology and stuff, and it adds more character to Kratos. He has like a son that you're kind of following through these two guys going on their journey. Kratos kind of developing into a better father throughout the game's like progression, I guess. And I'm curious how they're gonna do this one, like how they're gonna balance. Because realistically, what I remember of the original like God of War game, like on PlayStation 2, is like there's like a scene where there's literally like a sex mini game at the start, and
Yikes, yeah.
Kratos is just yelling at everyone. He's just killing a bunch of people, ripping heads off people, which I guess he rips heads off people in the reboot one. But it's really just like he seems like a very two-dimensional, just angry man character.
Yeah,
where
he matured a lot in the new game, and that's
Yeah.
kind of why they treated it as almost like a soft reboot.
Yeah.
I feel like he just became a different, more mature character. It was more nuanced, is what I would describe it as.
I agree. And I wonder what they're going to do and how they're going to like go forward with it. Because if it's just going to be like Kratos being like, I'm mad and I'm killing all these Greek gods, like I don't think I really want to watch that.
No.
But if they somehow, maybe merge the two stories, they have the more down to earth, Kratos from the reboot sort of game, the soft reboot game with his son. Oh, there goes my clock. Maybe the last time ever on this show. Who knows? But like with his son Atreus. And then, they maybe merge that story into the Greek mythology story, or it takes place in like this Norse mythology atmosphere. We're following Kratos and his son, similar to the game, and there's just flashbacks to the Greek mythology aspect, and it shows like how Kratos used to act and stuff like that. I think you can do quite a few interesting things with this, and I'm very curious about the direction they're going to take with it.
Yeah, to pause you there for a second too, I want to just, because you kind of corrected me there, and you're kind of right. Like we did talk about the fact that it was in negotiations at Amazon, but it was never confirmed. Deadline had reported on that story, and it was like they're exclusive. And they said that there's sources that are saying they're having conversations that there's large beliefs that God of War will be picked up by Amazon, but I don't think there was any announcement until now, Adrian.
Oh, okay, cool.
That they were actually picked up for realsies.
Well, that's good to know, man. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you for letting me know, Simon Eady. Maybe the last correction ever on this show. Who knows? Who knows, dude?
Well, you're getting real nostalgic here. You're getting a little,
emotional.
Trying to make me cry?
Yeah. Fuck you. I'm just kidding.
Whoa.
I'm just kidding. I love you, man. I love you. I love you too, Ken.
Yeah, I love you too, Adrian. And yeah, Ken, thank you for coming on the show. Like it's awesome to have you here. It's great.
It is.
Thank you. Biblically, are we in agreement that Kratos should be played by Danny DeVito? I'm just throwing that one out there.
Yeah, actually, I think he's gonna leave It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia for that.
Yeah. Hey, sorry, who do you peg? Like, and I'll give Ken a retry, unless you really think it's Danny DeVito. I don't know. It's fine. But who do you think for Kratos? Who would they hire for this? Like, who's your top choice, Adrian?
Honestly, I think they could just bring in Christopher Judge. Like, Christopher Judge isn't that old. He's like 50 some odd years old. He is the voice of Kratos in the reboot game. He has like a strong stature. He's a big man. Like, I think he would be a great choice. Just bring him into the live action series. Why the hell not? Personally,
the only reason I question it a little bit is that why hasn't he been in more mainstream properties? Like, he has been only in small parts in mainstream properties, I guess. Like, he's in The Dark Knight Rises, I guess, but he's mostly been lending his voice, and I question that aspect, and that Amazon's got a lot of money, and I think they'll put a lot of money into it because of how beloved this character is. So I wonder if they may not think he's got the chops for it overall, although his voice is so amazing in the game. Like, I don't want to, besmirch his name in that way. Like, he's clearly amazing. Did he win that year at the Game Awards for best voice acting? No.
No, it was the guy that played Arthur Morgan in Red Dead Redemption.
Okay. But regardless, that's the only thing I question. Otherwise, yes, I agree with you. And people, I'm sure, have a problem with the fact that he's black and Kratos is not. But I don't think that matters. And I don't think it doesn't dictate the character that he's black or white. It doesn't really matter. So he did such a great performance on the voice acting perspective. But did he do the mocap? Like, was he there on site doing the mocap as well? Or did he have someone else doing that? Did he just do the voice?
I think someone else did the mocap.
Okay, so that's the question, I guess, a little bit. But otherwise, good choice. The person I would choose potentially is Jason Momoa.
I think that's one of the more obvious ones.
Yeah,
I would rather if they can't use the original voice actor, go for an unknown, because everyone's going to throw in Jason Momoa, Henry Cavill, somebody that everybody pictures playing video game characters or superhero characters.
Mm-hmm.
Henry Cavill, I don't know that could pull it off. He's got the stature, certainly, but it's interesting.
Does it look tough enough?
I don't know.
It does.
Yeah, like, I think he's...
Never thought of that one, actually.
Yeah, I think...
His voice is maybe...
Yeah, that's the issue. And I feel like Henry Cavill, he's like... I mean, he's a buff and stuff, but he's not like... He's not as wide as, like, I imagine Kratos being.
He's a pretty wide guy. He's wider than Jason Momoa, I think.
Is he?
Isn't he?
I think he's a great actor, too.
Yeah.
But it's just... It seems to be... People have the habit of casting the same handful of people.
Mm-hmm. I think another great option for the casting. I have two, actually.
Don't say The Rock.
I'm not going to say The Rock. Don't you dare. I have two, actually. I think another more obvious choice would be Dave Bautista. I think that would be a great choice. He's a big, buff dude. He has an angry voice, loud, deep. I think that would be a pretty great option.
That could be like a role that he would win. I feel like this could be a role that you could win an Emmy for. That's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good choice. It's not bad.
That actually is perfect because he has shown that he has pretty good acting chops. So
yeah. And then the last choice that I would say, this is kind of like a curveball maybe, but the guy that plays the Hound in Game of Thrones, Rory McCann, I think he could do a pretty good job playing a Kratos too.
Not the Mountain.
Not the Mountain, no.
Yeah.
I feel like the Mountain was a little bit one-dimensional. I don't think that guy's like traditionally an actor. I think he's just one of the strongest human beings alive on planet Earth.
Rory McCann is a really good choice. Damn, what a good... How long have you thought about this?
About 6 to 8 years.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Yeah. The other thing to say to you, Ken, too, is like you're mentioning that they should cast a relative unknown if they don't cast the original voice actor. Technically, Christopher Judge is also not the original voice actor. They already replaced him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Sorry, he hasn't been replaced. He was the last guy to inhabit that role, but they had somebody else in it before.
Okay.
So it's already kind of been swapped.
I never actually played. I've just seen clips. So
yeah, no, I know. I'm just filling in some background there.
Yeah. And then I guess the final thing to bring up about the story is the first thing that you mentioned, actually, is the Horizon Netflix developed TV series based on the Horizon Zero Dawn and Horizon Forbidden West games. The sequel, Horizon Forbidden West, I think you're still playing it, Simon, and I did play it earlier this year. This franchise is awesome. I think this franchise can really lend itself to a wider audience. It's a super unique and cool world. Like, it's this post-apocalyptic United States with these like robotic dinosaurs roaming, the planet, like the Earth, while these, people are essentially using like old tools like bows and arrows and shit to take these like big robots down, and it's fucking awesome. It's a really great idea. The only kind of worry about this I have is like I think you would need a really big budget to make this show look good in like a live action form. So I'm curious if they're going to go that route or go down a route of like more like anime style, kind of like what they did with like the Castlevania Netflix series.
I want to draw attention to that actually. So I was looking for sources for this just to see who was talking about it. I was looking at Variety and Deadline and The Hollywood Reporter, and they weren't kind of, you know, I don't know, their stories were cool, but this was based on like an earnings report or something like that Sony released. That this story with the fact that they're making a Horizon show, a God of War show, and a Gran Turismo show. But the IGN article never says whether it's going to be animated or not. One of the articles I was reading on Mobile Syrup, which is like a Canadian website, specifically just called it a live action. These were going to be live action shows. And I just thought that was odd because I never saw that. Did you ever see? I'm guessing not, because you're suggesting that Horizon could be animated when they actually finally make this show at Netflix.
Yeah,
but it's strange that there was a weird assumption that for some reason they would make live action series for each of these properties. But I did not get that impression. It sounds like you didn't either.
Yeah, no.
I think it would be a lot easier to make an anime or just an animated series at Netflix. But you know who's making very few animated series, or at least they made huge cuts to that recently, Adrian? Netflix.
Is Netflix. Yes, Simon, you're right. You're definitely right.
We talked about that a little while ago, and it's funny because they cut so many of these animated series, and now if they introduce another one, it's almost like a weird backtrack. They even fired one of the guys who's in charge of animated series at Netflix.
Would it be different, though, if Sony completely developed it on their own and they just brought it in?
Yes, it's true. Because it wouldn't be in-house. Yeah, that's a good point. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Like Arcane, I guess. Yeah. Arcane was a huge success.
God, that show's fucking so good.
For Netflix. Like that's the League of Legends based series that it's really well animated. Damn, really beautiful animation.
Yeah, that show's amazing. I love that show. God damn.
Certainly Horizon can come off as very cheesy if they do not have a budget, as you suggested.
Yeah.
Because it's there's a lot going on there, and the amount of CG for just the robot dinosaurs alone that's tremendous. So
yeah,
it's a tremendous undertaking.
Yeah, man.
I don't know if Netflix is going to have the budget to do that because they have been making cuts. Like if something like The Gray Man doesn't do well because of how much they spent on that, I wonder whether they're going to be making some serious decisions about what might be next in terms of their round of cuts. But
and yeah, man, like honestly, just to add on that like CG point, if Disney can't even get it right with their like big shows, we talked about the She-Hulk trailer, how like She-Hulk looks like a fucking uncanny valley looking motherfucker. Like what the hell, you know? Like if Disney, arguably like one of the richest companies in the world, can't get it right, like how the hell is Netflix supposed to do it? That
being said, it's not the finished product in all likelihood.
Yeah, but even Moon Knight, I would make the argument with some of those CG scenes. Although the characters in Moon Knight looked great, like the CG characters, I think the CG in that show is just like bleh.
The thing I noticed the most in terms of bad CG, though, is on the characters. When the characters don't look great. Like, for instance, having a de-aged character in certain properties, sometimes it just doesn't work out that well. It's distracting for me. And honestly, that's when I'll point it out. We all know that Adrian points out. You always point out, Adrian, the really bad CG in properties. But the times I pointed out is always the weird de-aging or like the weird like graphics when it's a literal character. And it's just so distracting because you're trying to focus on what they're saying, what they're emoting, what message they're trying to put across. But it's hard to really discern that when you've got like this green lady who looks like not a real person. But hopefully Ken is right. And this is not the finished product.
Well, she looked as bad as the Ang Lee Hulk.
Yes, that's a good call out, yeah.
The Pillsbury Dough Hulk. However, I have a feeling that this is before the layering, because that's what it looks like it's lacking, is just the layering.
Layering?
Layers.
Layering, yes.
Oh, layering. Oh, sorry, I thought you said... Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. But then why would you release this? This is like a short trailer. You'd think you'd just release a short teaser. Like, do you need to release this trailer now? I don't know. It's weird.
It is. It is very weird. But yeah, I'm excited about this Horizon show. I hope it's an animated one, personally. I think the God of War one is going to be live action, because I think you can do that in live action fairly well, I'm hoping.
It would seem more epic in live action.
Yeah.
Potentially, yeah. But the thing that I would like to point out about God of War, I don't know if we pointed it out when we talked about the fact that Amazon might be picking it up, like way back. I think there was that would have been in March. So, but I wonder, could they pull off, because this is my favorite thing about the God of War PS4 game, could they pull off a one-shot wonder?
Ooh.
A show that literally runs in one shot. That would be the greatest thing ever, because no one's done. I mean, name a show that's doing that right now. I don't think there is one. There's shows that do that, like the Daredevil fight scenes run for a long period without turning away. It's maybe different for a game, though, because you're always seeing the shoulder behind the shoulder shot of the character. But imagine they could pull that off in a TV series.
Yeah, I mean, they do it for movies, right? Like they did it for Birdman, even though it's not like one shot. The movie feels like it's one shot. Or even 1917, that movie.
Yeah. Oh, so good.
Right?
That's an action movie, too. So that's even a better example.
Mm-hmm. So that would be dope. That's actually a brilliant idea. If they do that, that'd be fucking awesome, man.
Yeah, so good. Oh, man. I hope they do that.
Me too. But I'm still, out of all the Sony properties that are coming out in either live action or animated form in movies / TV, I'm still most excited for The Last of Us, the HBO Last of Us series. God damn.
Yeah. Sorry. I thought it was Gran Turismo as a Cars remake. Sorry, my mistake.
Yeah. That's a close second.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
But yeah, me too. The Last of Us is definitely the actors they chose, the creators that are making it. That is incredibly. I'm so incredibly excited, and I'm curious, Ken, are you excited for that at all? Do you know anything about it, or?
Yes, I again have never played the game, but I do know enough about it that I'm excited to see it if it's done well.
Yeah, I think
that's always the caveat.
I'd imagine it will be done well, and I must say that the makeup for that show is going to be off the chain if they do it properly too, because like the clickers, even Adrian, I think you can attest, like they look pretty freaky. That's going to be really cool if they can do that properly. So I think that
that's for me one of the big things is, are they going to get some phenomenal makeup happening? Are they going to cop out and use CG makeup?
Yeah, I don't know. I
don't think so. I think they're going to go double down on like the makeup aspect, because honestly, like there have been like even Last of Us shorts like on YouTube and stuff with some very well like made clickers using low budget makeup. So with like the backing of HBO and again the creators behind it, I don't think they're going to cheap out on like making like shitty CG animated clickers and stuff, unless there's like a horde of them.
Clickers, by the way, just to clarify, clickers are basically versions of zombies within that the Last of Us world, but they're very creepy, OP, overpowered zombies, I guess.
Yeah. They make clicking sounds because the fungus grew and blinded them, which is like such a cool idea. God.
Yeah. Cool.
Super cool, man. That's the last news story ever for the news story portions for now, at least.
Yeah, you keep mentioning that. I think you're trying to convince me to stop the hiatus very soon after we one episode 101 right away, it seems like, because every single thing we do, you're like, oh, that's the last version of this particular thing. This is the last time we say we're bringing it back, baby, for this show Split Focus.
Psych, we're bringing it back again, baby. We're bringing it back. It's layers like an onion, like Shrek. Bringing it back. Bringing it back.
Sure.
Bringing it back.
Okay, it's time now to move on to the montage, a sequence of our show in which I briefly present 11 of the week's smaller news stories as Adrian and Kenneth deliver brisk verdicts. Number 1. As Publication Deadline reports, Netflix's Jason Bateman starring crime drama Ozark Season 4 Part 2 launched at number 1 on the charts for most watched streaming series for the week of its release, according to the data collection company Nielsen Ratings. Ozark's 44 episodes collected just under 2.6 billion watch minutes for the week of April 29th to May 1st and is projected to keep pace for the following week.
Awesome. Well-deserved. Like I said at the beginning of the show, Ozark is brilliant and it deserves to be watched by many.
Number 2. As Publication Variety reports, after the Baz Luhrmann directed Austin Butler starring Elvis Presley-centered film Elvis, premiered at Cannes Film Festival this week. It received a 12-minute-long standing ovation from the audience. This was reported as the longest standing ovation during the 2022 Cannes Film Festival.
This is actually quite good, though, because, well, it makes them as popular as Freddy vs. Jason because they also got one. But I don't know if you gentlemen have been watching the trailers for it.
Yes.
It looks like it might be slightly fictionalized, but they are getting back to what actually inspired Elvis. I hated him in the 70s when he was alive because he had a cult following. They didn't acknowledge the music he got it, or he based his music on. Now they're showing that, yes, this is black music reinterpreted by Elvis. And there's one line in there Tom Hanks does as Colonel Parker, basically saying this is the end of Elvis the person and the beginning of Elvis the God. And that alone had me interested. That and the makeup.
Cool.
I think Mark Collier designed the makeup and then Sean Genders applied it. But
Sweet. Number 3. As Deadline has reported, while Warner Bros. Discovery CEO David Zaslav pushes to find $3 billion in cost savings across his new company, the $200 million production costs for executive producer J.J. Abrams' upcoming science fiction TV series Demimonde are currently sitting under a microscope. But Abrams reportedly will not budge on his budget for the series, and as a result, pre-production remains at a standstill.
Oh, interesting. I feel like this is something to be canceled, probably.
Uh-oh. Number 4. As Variety reports, West Side Story actor Rita Moreno has been cast as Vin Diesel's character's grandmother in the upcoming Louis Leterrier Fast and Furious franchise sequel, Fast 10.
this is awesome, actually. The definition of elder abuse. We've been following Fast and Furious for 20 years, and he's never visited her once.
Number 5. As Variety has reported, production has wrapped on writer-director Reese Waterfield's Winnie the Pooh horror comedy film, Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey. The new movie will see the recent public domain characters Winnie the Pooh and Piglet go on a murderous rampage after being abandoned by Christopher Robin.
I am very excited about this movie. It seems stupid and I can't wait.
Number 6. As reported on by Variety, Saturday Night Live prominent cast members Kate McKinnon, Aidy Bryant, Pete Davidson, and Kyle Mooney have all left the cast for Saturday Night Live on the recent finale of SNL's 47th season.
For me, that's a good move. They should always, if they're going to continue the series, they should always have fresh faces, and it also gives the established comedians, actors, a chance to branch out into movies.
Number 7. As Variety reports, the Jamie Foxx, Gerard Butler starring crime drama film Law Abiding Citizen is getting a sequel from original Law Abiding Citizen screenwriter Kurt Wimmer and producer Luke Foster.
This is wild because not only did this movie come out like 13 years ago, but it's also rated incredibly poorly. I did like this movie though when it came out.
Number 8. As followed by publication The Hollywood Reporter, the Silence of the Lambs star Jodie Foster has been cast in HBO's Arctic set crime drama True Detective Season 4.
Hello, Clarice. No, I definitely think she's going to do a good job. She's a fantastic actor, so it's going to be fun.
Number 9. As Variety reports, Russian Doll screenwriter Kuroko Dunlap is showrunning an Amazon animated series called The Hospital that follows the goings-on in an intergalactic hospital and is set to star Russian Doll actor Natasha Lyonne and The Good Place actor Maya Rudolph. The Hospital has already been greenlit by Amazon for 2 seasons.
This seems just like a super cool premise and something I definitely want to check out when it comes out.
Number 10. As Variety reports, the Christine Baranski starring The Good Wife law drama spin-off series The Good Fight will be ending after its 6th season.
Seriously, no opinion of it. It's nothing that has attracted me.
That's fair. Number 11.
Let it die.
What?
Let it die.
Oh, shit. Number 11. As Variety reports, J.J. Abrams is executive producing a live-action TV series adaptation of the Japanese car racing anime series Speed Racer for streaming service Apple TV+.
I have no real connection to this anime series, but I know there is a live-action movie, which I also don't have a connection to. And Apple TV... Yeah, just that, actually.
And that concludes the montage.
What's the final montage for now? Wow.
Indeed. Adrian?
Yeah.
Tell me, my friend, what do you have for me? What do you have for me? And what do you have for Kenneth here?
I got new releases for you, gentlemen. I got new releases for you.
No way.
This is for the week of May 30th to June the 5th, which is a Monday to a Sunday. But this week, Simon, it's a little different because there's only movies coming out on Friday, June 3rd, from what I could find.
Whoa.
But what I'm going to do this week is I'm bringing it back, baby. The hit segment of the show. Did I write this, or was this written by the actual thing?
What?
Remember that hit segment of our show? Did I write it, or did someone else, or whatever? What was it? I forget.
Yeah. Was the synopsis plagiarized by you? Did I plagiarize the synopsis? Isn't that?
That hit segment of our show. We're bringing it back, baby. Oh, good times. All right, you guys ready?
So you're going to basically read what movies are coming out. You're going to describe them to us, and the description can either be fake, like as in you wrote them, or the actual official studio wrote it. Is basically the gist. You remember this, Ken, right? You've listened to all 100 episodes. Well, we're writing the 100th one, I guess, right now. But anyway,
one of my favorite parts of the show.
Yeah.
Oh,
bringing it back. Bringing it back. Okay. So the first one is a movie called Interceptor. This is a Netflix original. All these movies, again, coming out Friday, June 3rd, is a Netflix original movie directed by Matthew Riley. And it's an action movie that's about an army captain trying to save the world. Did I write this, or did I plagiarize this?
You wrote it. Ken?
I was going to say it's so vague that you plagiarized it.
So, plot twist. I plagiarized this, but not from the movie studio, but from whoever wrote it in the What's Coming to Netflix website. So, you're both get a half point.
Oh, wait, there's more than one plagiarized thing? Because that's not how this competition works.
Oh, baby, I'm bringing it back for the final episode. I'm doing twists and turns. You ready?
What? You should have told me that. I would have guessed differently based on those parameters. So you're plagiarizing more than one. Jeez Louise. You're supposed to have plagiarized one. That was the rule. Damn. Okay, fine. Fine, Adrian. Continue.
I have plagiarized one of these from the movie studio, though. Okay, you guys ready? I'm going to continue. Hollywood Stargirl. This is a Disney Plus original movie, but it's not the superhero, though.
Definitely you. Not plagiarized.
Ken?
Oh, definitely that's you.
Yeah, it is. Guys, you guys are good at this. God dang it.
Apparently I'm not. I'm 50% failure rate here, but continue.
Yeah. Next up is a movie called Dashcam. This is confirmed by Movie Insider and the Apple TV app. This is a video on demand movie, and it's a Blumhouse horror movie with a paranormal... It's what to say with a paranormal twist.
Definitely you. Definitely you.
Ken?
Oh, yeah. I'd say that one was you.
You guys are so good at this. You guys are so good.
I don't think so. That one was that was a gimme for sure.
All right, good stuff. All right, next up, we got Freak Scene, the story of Dinosaur Jr. This is confirmed by Movie Insider and the Apple TV app. This is a video on demand movie about the trailblazing band Dinosaur Jr.
Definitely you.
Plagiarized.
Oh, God.
Oh,
okay. Simon, you are right.
Aha.
And Ken is indeed wrong. So Simon is in the lead by...
No, I'm tied.
Wait, what did you get wrong?
The first one.
Oh, no, the Interceptor one. You guys both got a half point because Ken didn't specify that I plagiarized it from a thing, and then you said that I didn't plagiarize it from a movie studio, so you guys get half points there.
Sorry, why is that even a rule?
I made it up.
The assumption is you plagiarized it from the internet.
This is my game. I can do what I want.
That's fair, I guess.
Okay, Simon's leading with 1.5 points. Ken, you're at 0.5 points. Next up is a movie called The Overnight. This is confirmed by the most reliable source on the internet, the-numbers.com and the Apple TV app. This is a video on demand movie. And the description is, a wild death loop haunts a couple in a spooky hotel.
A wild death loop?
Mm-hmm.
That's you. You wrote that.
Mm-hmm.
Ken?
Yeah.
You guys are both right. Gosh dang it. Good stuff. And I realized that the points that I gave out was wrong because you guys got all the other ones right as well, except for one. So Simon leads by 1 point is how I should have said it last time.
Yes.
So anyways, good stuff. Next up is a movie called The Time Capsule. This is confirmed by the most reliable source on the internet, the-numbers.com and the Apple TV app. This is a video on demand movie. It's about a person that comes back from space after 20 years, but they never aged a day.
That's definitely you. You had to paraphrase during the actual description. What's going on here? There's words missing in the actual the sentence. You just added words as you went.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wait, you're gonna blame voice to text?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
It was voice to text, obviously.
It's always voice to text, baby. Always voice to text, except when it's not. All right. Okay. Next up is a movie called Watcher. This is confirmed by Movie Insider in the trailer. This is coming to theaters, but not ours, as far as I can tell. It's about a young actress, and it's a young actress is stalked by a serial killer.
Ken?
That's plagiarized.
Yeah, I think it's plagiarized as well.
Boom! You're both wrong. Whatcha, whatcha.
Ooh.
Oh, you got us.
Totally original writing. Totally original. I'm amazing. I'm the best. God damn it. And then the final one. Are you guys ready?
Yes. Oh, I'm ready.
Crimes of the Future. This is confirmed by Cineplex. It's coming to theaters. All right. As the human species adapts to a synthetic environment, the body undergoes new transformations and mutations. Accompanied by his partner, celebrity performance artist Saul Tenser showcases the metamorphoses of his organs. Meanwhile, a mysterious group tries to use Saul's notoriety to shed light on the next phase of human evolution.
Definitely plagiarized.
Plagiarized.
You guys got me. Good job.
I had this weird feeling that you wouldn't have done this and that you would have maybe tried to write that yourself. But I was like, no. That would have taken you a long time to write because there's like a lot of very specific words. And I feel like you'd have to have a pretty good understanding of the plot line for Crimes of the Future.
Yeah. It's a David Cronenberg movie.
Oh, really?
Oh, I did hear about this movie.
Yeah.
I was just going to say not a great, like a big week for movies, but it's David Cronenberg. So that's one. Is there anything else here that you guys are interested in watching? Because is anything even coming to theaters here?
No. Well, Watcher is, but not our theaters.
Like not widely.
Yeah. Well, no. Yeah. Watcher is widely in the United States, just not in Canada.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to watch Hollywood Stargirl. That's coming out on Disney Plus. That's not the superhero, though. That's my most anticipated movie.
What is that about?
I have no clue. I was just being facetious. I genuinely don't know.
Oh, okay.
I
get to know.
I believe it's about a singer.
Like that.
Yes.
Sure.
Thanks.
Sure, buddy.
Not the sewing machine either.
Yeah. I am excited for Crimes of the Future, though. This looks cool. It's like this crazy horror movie. Apparently, like David Cronenberg's like goal or whatever was to have people walk out of the movie within the first 15 minutes.
Oh, really?
Because it's like so unsettling. And I don't know how accurate this is, but my buddy Eric told me about this, that like apparently people were having panic attacks by the end of the movie.
Oh no.
So I'm just like, I'm watching this. I'm going to the theater to watch this.
Yeah, I'm gonna be going to see that one too.
But that's not widely in Cineplex, is it? Like it's not.
It is. It is. Yeah.
Oh, it is. Oh shit. Okay.
It's confirmed by Cineplex, Simon.
I know, but we don't get movies like this though. Like in our Cineplex near us. Like it might be in like more downtown Toronto area or like Mississauga, but typically we get skipped. That's what I mean.
Usually at like the Woodlawn, like Guelph theater, it'll have like one theater that plays it like twice a day or something. Because like Men, as an example, that played in Guelph, I think. So yeah, Crimes of the Future is playing at the Guelph Galaxy Cineplex on the Thursday and Friday.
Sweet.
Or at least the Thursday. Sorry, June 2nd, because it's like the early release.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Alrighty then.
That's it. That's all, baby, for the final time, at least for now. That's it. That's all. The new releases for you. That's it. That's all.
Sweet. Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, normally this would be the end of our regular scheduled programming for this podcast, but I thought we'd throw in an extra little segment of our show, just because this is the 100th episode, Adrian, in a row. Which, just to say again, man, thank you for going on this journey with me for 100 episodes straight, consecutive weeks. We have not missed one episode, which is pretty wild. I think it's pretty impressive, personally. So kudos to you. Thank you for writing the new releases every week.
I mean, technically that too, yeah. Every
year as well. But thank you for doing that, and thank you for joining me, pretty much, again, we're running on a strict Saturday schedule pretty much. It was almost every Saturday. There was a couple weeks in which we had to shuffle things around to record Fridays, etc. But for the most part, we were pretty consistent. And I appreciate you, and thanks for joining me.
I appreciate you, man. Thanks for letting me join you on this wild journey, and I really enjoyed it. I'll say a couple more things at the end of the show, but yeah, man, I love doing this, and thanks for Ken for writing in so many weeks, and anyone else that wrote in over the past 100 episodes. It's been a really fun ride, and yeah. But anyways, let's jump into this little segment that you got cooked up, Simon.
Yeah, it's a small segment. We were going to do this technically before we decided to potentially end our podcast at episode 100 for this hiatus. But this segment is basically almost like a mid-year marker segment. It's the idea of like what were the favorite things that we've watched so far in 2022. We're not quite at the mid-year, but we're very close. And also, what are the most anticipated movies or TV series or things in general? I don't know. It depends. We're not going to list video games here, but movies or TV series really that we're excited for that are coming by the end of 2022. So yeah, I'm going to let's just do the first thing first, which is basically favorite things that we've watched in 2022 so far. So TV shows or movies. Ken, I'll throw it to you first. What is the first kind of thing that you've chosen here for your favorite thing that you've watched in 2022 so far? I'm super curious.
The absolute favorite right now would be Chip and Dale.
Oh.
As silly as it sounds.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
It was that good.
Yeah, it's great. Why? So why is that your choice?
Cleverly written. A lot of stuff that was nostalgic, but if you didn't watch the original series, you'd still get things out of it. Adult content as well as kid content.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, great choice. I watched Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, by the way, the Andy Samberg.
Well, thanks for catching up with us.
John Mulaney movie. We watched it right after pretty much re-recorded the last podcast in which Adrian said he loved the movie. So thank you, Adrian and Ken, for your recommendations.
Mm-hmm.
And it's pretty great. It's pretty great. The references are hilarious. And there's some references in there from... There's one particular reference from a certain property that I was like shocked at.
Yeah, I think I know what you're thinking about.
I'm not going to reveal it here because it's a spoiler, but it was just hilarious. There's a lot of them in there, but there's just one particular one at a like a Comic-Con type event. That's just I was shocked. I was like, this is awesome.
Yeah,
that, and it does poke fun of itself as Disney Studios and that a lot too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it pokes fun at itself. The animation styles are wild, as Adrian mentioned last week on episode 99. Like, it's crazy what they mashed up into a live action movie.
And yet somehow it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cohesive. I liked it a lot. Yeah.
Man.
But cool. Adrian, what was the best, one of the favorite things you've watched for 2022?
One of the favorite things I watched for 2022 is Scream 5.
Oh, nice.
For me, that is just an absolutely stellar horror movie, almost like a horror comedy in a way. It's meta, all the meta commentary. It's just like this mystery whodunit. I am a new Scream fan. I watched all the movies this year, and to me, I think Scream 5 is actually my favorite of all 5. It's just brilliantly done. It's such a fun watch. I want to rewatch it, even though I've already watched it like 2 times in theaters. It's one of my favorite movies of this year, and it's really great. I love it. And I know, Ken, you really like this movie too, right?
Yeah. Again, it blew me away because even though Wes Craven has passed away, it's a Wes Craven movie. It's his style. This is directly all the elements from one. It's both fresh and it's all the familiar hitting points, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Definitely, man. What about you, Simon?
Favorite thing I watched this year by far, and I think you know what it is, Adrian. It was Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why I didn't bring it up, because I knew you were going to.
Yeah, it's just so good. That movie is so good. Michelle Yeoh, directed by the Daniels. It's got Jamie Lee Curtis in it. And it's the best multiverse movie of the year. That's for sure. That's for damn sure. But it's just remarkable. The amount of detail in this movie and the ability of these directors and these writers, the Daniels, to be able to somehow pull together a cohesive story out of the complexities of what they actually did is just crazy. It's crazy. And there's so many ridiculous, funny gags in it. It's an action movie. It's got some insane martial arts in it. It's just, wow. I was blown away, and I expected it to be good, but I did not expect it to be that good.
Yeah.
It was shocking, and it still shocks me now thinking about it. I almost want to just watch that again.
Yeah.
But as soon as it comes on Blu-ray or whatever, or available for rental or on a streaming service, I'm
Gonna watch it?
might partake in watching that baby again, because I feel like there's things we might not have even noticed because there's just so much going on. But
Yeah.
it's truly amazing.
I agree, man. I agree. That is also my favorite thing I watched this year. I just knew you were going to bring it up, so I would say I brought up my second favorite thing I watched all year. So
That's fair. I put the option to choose a second favorite thing, like as a runner-up type situation. Do you guys have a runner-up that you're thinking of for 2022 for the favorite things you've watched? Ken, do you have?
Morbius, so good.
I think we're all going to say Morbius.
Is that Ken's? Ken, are you going with that for realsies?
No.
Okay.
For real, Obi-Wan.
Oh,
Okay. That's interesting. I didn't see that coming only because you mentioned the rushed thing. I thought I was a little worried that you might not like it in the end.
No. It's just the intro, I think, should have been more backstory, but it was bloody brilliant. I loved it. And that's including, we both know that I love Spider-Man. There are a few things that came out that I have enjoyed, but it's just, this is exactly what I wanted.
Sweet.
Nice, man.
That's great. Adrian?
Definitely not Morbius.
Yeah.
More like Snorbius. No Morbius.
It was a Morbiusly great time. Come on.
I'm gonna leave the theater and close the door, Bius.
Wow. Man's got rhymes.
You're just not going to let that go, are you?
This movie, I hated so much. I want to bash my head against the floor, Bius.
Oh, Jesus. Wow. Come on. You're sitting. We're sitting in a chat room with Ken here, and Ken kind of liked the movie, so just tone it down a little bit there, Adrian. It's not very polite, okay? He's our guest.
Yeah. Sorry, Ken.
That's okay.
But not really. I don't like that movie.
You can't see my tears.
If I had to bring up one more movie that I really loved that I watched this year, it would be Turning Red.
One Morbius movie?
One Morbius movie. It would be Turning Red, the Disney Plus release Pixar animated film. It has so much love and care put into it. We all know that I can relate to a little Asian girl fairly easily. So obviously, I really enjoyed this movie.
And it is another one that's good on multiple levels, like not just the growing up, but the metaphor for puberty, for all the other stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah.
It's a really good choice.
Brilliant choice.
It is indeed a good choice.
And you?
My last choice there, guys, is I was going to say Coda, but that's not from this year. So that doesn't make any sense. That's technically launched in 2021.
Yeah.
Unless you watched it again. I don't know.
No. Well, no, I think we were trying to keep it to 2022 released things because it just makes it more succinct. Although the rules weren't necessarily written clear here in the document. But regardless, I would probably say I'm torn between a few movies that I really, really liked that we watched. And I feel like I'm going to go with The Batman.
Oh.
Yep.
I just, it's so good. Matt Reeves, the director Matt Reeves just did a great job. Robert Pattinson's take on the Caped Crusader, very good. The music by Michael Giacchino, so good. Cinematography by Greg Fraser, wow, so good. There's this shot, anytime I think of The Batman, I just think of that overhead shot of him like walking through like water with the flare.
Mm-hmm.
It's so good.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It's just so good. There's so many good moments like that, though. The Batman walking, and you kind of hear that kind of jingle of his, like almost like spurs in his boots. It's just so daunting, and everyone's
even ignoring it as a superhero movie. If you watch it again as just a detective thriller kind of thing, it still hits all the marks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Oh, Marx, the brother to Karl Marx, the socialist.
We're back to Groucho.
Yeah. Groucho, who's that? For some reason. That's a new bit, apparently.
That's a new bit. Bringing it back, baby. Bringing it back. No, but Bat Reeves did a really great job on the Batman. I love that movie too.
I swear, after we saw that, I was grabbing people talking about, okay, how fantastic is this movie?
Yeah, pretty fantastic. And hopefully the Bat Reeves verse turns out pretty great. We got one thing. It's like we're 1 for 1 so far. So I'm hoping that the show is coming out about Arkham. Actually, wait, which one's coming out first?
The Penguin.
I guess the Penguin show is coming out first.
Yeah.
Penguin is,
Yeah, Penguin.
Sorry, the what?
Penguin show.
The Penguin.
Yeah, there we go. The Penguin. Good stuff. Glad we cleared that up. But yeah, okay. So let's move on to the next question there, which was, what, my friends, is your most anticipated movie or TV series coming for the last half of 2022?
Ooh.
Ken, I will once again throw it to you first as our honored guest.
Okay, well, with, all the Star Wars content and all the superhero content, none of the above. I'm stoked to see Werewolf by Night, the Halloween special.
Yeah. Directed by Michael Giacchino. His directorial debut. Pretty exciting, dude.
It is exciting. Sorry, isn't that technically a Marvel thing?
It is a Marvel thing, but it's definitely, he isn't a superhero.
Okay.
All
right.
This may be their first horror.
Oh, I heard he's a werewolf by night.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I would argue that Doctor Strange and the Doctor in Doctor's Mad is the first horror.
Yeah, it actually does do all the horror elements. You're correct.
Yeah.
But I've been stoked about Werewolf by Night as soon as I heard the rumors of it. So
sorry for my ignorance, but I can't remember exactly. Is this just one movie type situation, like a 2-hour event, or are they doing it like a small series, like 3 episodes? Do you know? I didn't see anything about that. Maybe I just missed it.
I don't think they ever made it clear, but I think it's a one-off.
Okay, so it might just be one episode
because they said it was a Halloween special. So
cool.
I guess it would be even specialer if it was more than one part. But
yeah, I suppose.
Yeah,
Adrian, what is the most anticipated movie or TV series in 2022 for you?
Well, Simon, not to beat off a dead horse.
No, that's not the phrase.
Thor, Thor 4, the fourth Thor, starring Gore. That I'm pretty excited about, but no, that's not my most anticipated. I'm gonna take a step back. I just wanted to make that joke. Bringing it back, baby, beating off dead horses. It's what we do here.
Necrobestiality.
I mean, I've said many a times, Jurassic World Dominion is my most anticipated movie, so I feel like that's kind of a cop out bringing that up again. I am super stoked about it. I can't wait to watch it and talk about it. But.
Like, do you notice the cheating method this is, Ken? He's like naming off all of these options so he doesn't have to choose one specifically.
I was sure he was going to say the Jurassic World one.
Yeah, again, I feel like it's a cop-out.
Yeah.
He did kind of say it, though.
Yeah, I did.
He did kind of say it, just to be clear.
So I'm gonna go a little bit of a curveball. You guys ready? My most anticipated movie after Jurassic World is Jordan Peele's Nope.
Oh.
I'm very, very excited about that movie. I think Jordan Peele has knocked it out of the park with his previous 2 horror movies. I really loved those films. I think he did a really good job balancing almost comedy, more so with Us, and these horror elements, and just creating a very awesome world and story in both of those movies. And it's just something very unique. And this Nope movie looks awesome. The trailer looks great. And I would say that's probably my most anticipated one.
Excellent. All I have to say to you, Adrian, in regards to your first choice there is, yup.
That was a good one.
Yeah, you're welcome. Anyway, my choice, I got a toss-up here, but I'm not going to do the Adrian cop-out and name them all.
Let's hear your top 15.
Yeah. But my choice actually, I don't know, because I don't know what it's going to be like, but I'm going to say Don't Worry, Darling. The Olivia Wilde directed movie, which has an absolute killer trailer.
Mm-hmm.
What a trailer. Just like you mentioned, Nope has a great trailer. This does too. And this is like, got some horror elements there too, some thriller elements, and Olivia Wilde's kind of first directorial, debut, as Adrian calls it, or debut.
Debut, yeah.
Booksmart was awesome. Like starring Beanie Feldstein.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was a really good movie. And I feel like this one's also going to be incredible. It's got some amazing acting talent attached, and with Harry Styles and Florence Pugh and Chris Pine. So I don't know. Did you see that trailer there, Ken?
I actually didn't.
Oh, okay. It's worth taking a look at.
So I'm going to have to watch it.
Well, don't worry, darling. You have plenty of time to watch it.
Oh, yep. All right. Good. Back to Ken. Ken, do you have another? I'm sure you do. I'm sure you've got like 15. But what's your second most anticipated property coming out in 2022?
Basically, it's going to be all the ones that Adrian chooses. Thor for sure, Dominion for sure, but I'm going to say Andor.
Oh, so soon too. We didn't really talk about that on the Star Wars segment. We talked about the Star Wars. I feel like Star Wars for like an hour and a half, but we didn't really say like I didn't say at least. It's so cool that first of all it's 12 episodes, and secondly it's coming out in August. I just didn't expect it to come that soon. I kind of figured it would be at the end of the year. So
yeah, good call. Good call on that.
Yeah, sweet. Makes sense. Adrian, your second most anticipated TV or film property to come out this year?
I think it's DC League of Super Pets. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. That's a good question, Simon. That's a question I wasn't prepared for because I've already listed 3 other things. So I'm gonna say Black Phone, that horror movie with Ethan Hawke and the kid. It's directed by Scott Derrickson, who directed that first Doctor Strange movie, which is pretty damn good.
And was supposed to direct the second one until he got booted a little bit.
Yeah. So
it seems like.
I know this movie, The Black Phone, is rated well. I feel like it's been delayed like a year at this point. But yeah, something that I'm quite stoked for as well.
Sorry, when is that coming out? Sorry, did you just say that and I just missed it?
June 24th. So it's
soon.
Within a month. Yeah.
Cool. That's an interesting one because, again, that felt like it was coming out like 10 times. We kept seeing the trailers like, I feel like last year, mid-year, and then it never happened. COVID kind of happened. That did intrigue me. I am curious about its prospects in the review department because of the fact that it was delayed so many times, but it does look great.
Yeah.
Like Ethan Hawke is so good. So I'm curious about that one too.
And what about you, Simon? What about you, Simon? Sorry. What about you, Simon?
Every time I say anything, you just speak over me. What's happening here, Adrian?
I'm bringing it back, baby. I'm bringing back the segment where I interrupt you all the time.
Yeah. From episode 73. Excellent. Good work. Actually, really every episode. But regardless, the thing I'm most excited for the end of 2022, other than, of course, the movie I just named, Don't Worry, Darling, is probably... I got so many here that I could just say, but I'm going to say The Gray Man because that trailer did look spectacular. And that's literally in July. And I didn't even realize it was going to be that soon because we talked about that on the podcast it was a long while ago, I guess, for us, but it was on the podcast. So like, how long would it take to make that kind of a big budget movie? That's pretty quick. I feel like that they got that done because I feel like we talked about that a year ago. So
yeah, we did.
I don't know. That's very exciting. That trailer looks really good, and the acting talent attached to it is phenomenal. And the Russo brothers are really great. So I am very excited for that.
Yeah, me too, man.
I'm stoked to see it.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, that's it. That does bring our regular scheduled programming to a close. Do you? I'll show it to Ken. Ken, do you have anything to say before we wrap this baby up?
First, I've enjoyed the last 100 episodes, even the Scottish one.
Oh, okay.
And I love the both of you. And it's neat that whenever you have something happening and I'm involved, it ends.
Oh,
like my marriage.
I don't think. What?
My marriage.
You guys were married?
I was, and then Ken got involved, and now I'm not anymore.
Oh, you weren't married together. Sorry, I understood that you...
No, as soon as we made it a 3-way, that screwed it all up.
Yeah,
it usually does.
She couldn't compare.
Oh, damn. Okay, cool. Thank you, Ken. We very much appreciate you, as we said a couple times on this podcast. We're getting a little, we're getting a little weepy. But we really appreciate you writing in every week. It's awesome. Like you are the top contributor, obviously, but you've been with us and supported us the whole way through making this podcast, sure, but also making a previous podcast before. And so I very much appreciate it. It's very kind of you, and we're glad to have you here on episode 100.
Well, one thing you guys have done, which I've told you in person, but I don't think I've ever said on the podcast, is you make me think about stuff. Whether it's something I've already enjoyed or something that I haven't given a chance to, I'll hear what you guys are saying, and then I will stop and think about it and look at it in a new direction. So,
yeah, it's nice.
So curse you for making me think.
Oh, okay. Didn't see that coming. But Adrian, do you have anything else to say to our audience, perhaps, before we wrap this guy up, before we wrap episode 100 up?
For anyone that listened, thanks. Thank you, Ken, obviously, for contributing so much and coming in on this 100th episode. But ultimately, I want to thank you, Simon. I want to thank you for being a great friend. I want to thank you for this 100-episode journey we've been on. I want to thank you for putting these shows together so consistently. And okay, Ken got a clap going on. And I want to thank you again, putting the show together so consistently, recording with me. And honestly, I've had a blast these past 100 episodes, and I'm excited to continue.
Sounds like Ken's dealing with a home invader in the background. Ken, are you good? Ken?
Our friendship outside of this podcast, maybe we'll talk, maybe we won't, I don't know, but we'll still go watch movies together, I presume, and maybe the occasional closer look we'll do. But I've really enjoyed my time, and I enjoy being your friend, and I love you. I love you too, Ken.
Thank you.
I love you as well. Thank you very much. Those are very nice words. And again, I've had a blast doing this podcast too. It is a lot of work for me, so like there is a stress element certainly, but I have had a lot of fun making the episodes, and there's certainly been a lot of laughs. And I appreciate you being the comedian to my straight man, I guess. And we'll see where this goes from here, but I appreciate you as a friend as well. And again, I love you both. I feel like this has been a lot of us thanking each other throughout the episode. Hopefully it doesn't come off as mostly just us thanking each other and the rest is Star Wars, but
yeah.
And thanking New Zealand.
Yeah. Number 2 podcast in New Zealand. I'm sure we'll keep that throne. And realistically, Simon, by the end of this episode, I don't even know if you can call yourself the straight man anymore because of how much thanks we gave each other.
This is true.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa!
Yeah. Didn't think of it that way. Shit. All right. Well,
But can I say something?
Yeah.
yeah. Well, of course. Yeah. Yes. Now's the time.
What the podcast does show is you both have a genuine love for movies and media and food and games. But no, definitely your love for entertainment shows through.
Thank you. Thank you, Ken.
Thank you.
Well, I suppose
That's about it. So, audience, thank you for listening to the 100th episode of Split Focus, a film and TV podcast. My name is Simon Eady, and this is Adrian Pinter and Kenneth Stadelbauer signing off.
It's the last one. Perfect timing. I'll let this play out, and I'll sign off.
Yeah. You're gonna let the whole chimes play out?
Yeah,
Rise of Skywalker really was a bad movie.
it was. I agree.
Yeah, I don't know if we
That's
want
nice.
to end it on that note, but
Don't worry, I'll end it on a more positive note. Batman v Superman is a goddamn good movie. He also hated Rise of Skywalker. And you know what else is a gosh damn good movie? Resident Evil. Welcome to Raccoon City, Town, Village, all the villages. Resident Evil. Good movie. It's now streaming on Amazon Prime here in Canada. Watch it.
well, that statement's questionable, but Batman vs. Superman is a good movie. Goodbye.
Poodles.
Take care. Goodbye.
Yeah.